Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we, am I? Our game, it's not logical, but you contemplate, are we, am I? I think it's sane, I think it's logical. What I don't you find? Are we, am I? As time goes by, I'll be a slip away. Should I do you mind? Are we, am I? I'm fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. So fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. This is the way that I still play. Tell me why you lied to me. Fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. So fighting for love, raise me up and see my willingness. Fighting for love. Raise me up and see my willingness. I'm fighting for love. Raise me up and see my willingness. I'm fighting for love. And see my willingness. I'm fighting. Raise me up and see my
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Game 4. Game 4s are so big. They're so big. They're such a big deal. And you know what? The game hasn't even started yet. We got a few more minutes till puck drop. I think puck drop is supposed to be like 9:52. Watching the rest of this Montreal and Tampa game in the meantime. And Kucherov just went to the box, which is bonkers. Steve's doing the rest of his stream, the Tampa and Montreal thing, also on this channel. But since we got you here, I just want to talk a little bit about the Edmonton Oilers. Guys, Tristan Jarry starting tonight. It hasn't started since when, Hayden? April 7th, a game in which he allowed 6 goals. Now, funnily enough, 6 goals in that game. April 7th. Remember that. 6 goals. What do you think happened? That's right. It's an overtime loss. He allowed 6 goals, and the Oilers still went to overtime. Isn't that flipping crazy? I don't know what we're in for tonight, but I don't understand taking Connor Ingram out. I mean, listen, I know the stats aren't really looking good, but I've been thinking he looks pretty solid. Not really understanding why they're doing this, but, you know, they've done this before. I remember a couple of years ago in their first run to the Stanley Cup final, Stuart Skinner was struggling to put Calvin Pickard in, and he was great against Vancouver. And then a couple of games later, they're like, you know what? We're going to put Skinner back in. Even though Pickard had been great, Oh, Montreal almost tied that one up. And hey, it worked. I just thought that was weird. I was like, that's so weird. Why are they doing this? And it worked. It worked. So I'm not one to, well, I'm definitely one to question, but I think Chris Knobloch's got some experience here, so we can be confident reasonably that Chris Knobloch knows what he's doing. I do still sort of feel, and we've got the national anthem going on here with the Ducks and the Oilers right now. I do feel it's a bit weird, and I think you must. I'm curious about the Oilers fans in the chat, the ones that are here, because I know we got a bunch of people still watching this Montreal game. It's kind of crazy. I'm curious about how you feel about it. I'm very, very interested in your opinions on it because you guys have seen this team time and time and time again, and you know when a change is needed, although it's been a weird year goaltending wise. So I want to see your answers in the chat. Important for Edmonton, and this is great news. Jason Dickinson is back. Henrique is not yet, hasn't played since game one when he fell on that knee. Still don't know what happened there. I would have thought it was just a bruise, but maybe it was something way worse than that. We just don't know. So he's not back. The Ducks at this point look pretty healthy. So to have Dickinson back in the lineup, it allows Szymanski to move down to the fourth line. He's going to switch off probably center duties with Lazar in that line. So it'll be Nuge, Dickinson, Roslovic. Savoy's back up to the top line with McDavid and Hyman. And that Vasily Podkolzin, Leon Draisaitl, Kasperi Kapanen line is obviously going to stay together because they've been pretty darn spectacular as we get ready for face-offs here. Now, if you do want to watch the conclusion of that Montreal Tampa game, I don't blame you. Steve's streaming it right now on SDPN. You can feel free to do that. But if your team is playing here right now, well, come and join me then. Come hang out. Let's have some fun. And it's Sunday night. The last time we talked, it was Friday night. I feel like we've got a heck of a game on our hands. The Ducks played their first home playoff game since 2018 and got their first home playoff win since 2017 on Friday night. We'll see if they can do it again tonight. Now, the thing about game fours that make them so special is the series goes two ways after this, right? More than any other game, it's the linchpin. It's the middle game. If it's a 7-game series, this game is 50%. And you win this one if you're the Ducks, you're up 3-1. You lose this one, well, now you're going back to Edmonton tied 2-2. Listen, I know that you know that, but we got to talk about the stakes here. It's important. Puck has been dropped. And we'll see. Sorry, say that again, Hayden? Did I get steak this weekend? I had steak tonight. Thank you very much. It was delicious. My wife made steak. It was amazing. Oh, scores! Oh, my God, we have a goal right away. It's Kasperi Kapanen. I told you they'd keep that line together. How did that happen? 38 seconds into the game, guys. Holy smokes. Kasperi Kapanen and Vasily Podkolzin just causing trouble, causing issues. And it's Dickinson, actually, the one that brings it in. Runs around and gets the puck to the defenseman who fires it in. And Wallman basically just put it on Dostal, and Kasperi's in the right place. He's just right where he needs to be. How about that? Kasperi Kapanen, he scored 3 goals in this series already, and they've all been huge. And now Edmonton's off to the start that they want. The Oilers now are in a spot where, hey, that's pretty good. Now, that takes the Ducks fans out of it for a little bit, but if you know anything from this series, no lead is safe. 0 lead safe. The Ottawa Senators officially eliminated from the playoffs yesterday. The Buffalo Sabres took the Boston Bruins and pummeled them at home 6-1 today. So they're close. The Pittsburgh Penguins stayed alive. It looked like Philadelphia had them on the ropes, but Pittsburgh played a really, really good game 4. They're heading back to PPG Paints Arena to play the Flyers for game 5. We'll see if the Flyers can close it out there. The Penguins played with real desperation, man. I got to give them the credit. I got to give them credit. Now, if you're tuning into this game and you're going, hey, wait a second, how did this happen? Kasperi Kapanen scored about 40 seconds in, which is amazing. But we know no lead is safe. Oilers are going to try to build one here, but the Ducks have pretty solid production from all 4 lines. Even Jeffrey Vael, who scored yesterday, he scored like the 6-4 goal. He scored the 6th goal and put the Oilers away in game 3. We've had everybody score for Anaheim in this series. And you know what? For Edmonton, you'd think it'd be, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. If you haven't paid close attention in this series, Connor's got 1 goal and 1 assist, and they all came last game. Leon's been very, very strong, but it's been the depth pieces for the Edmonton Oilers that have been getting it done as well, which is amazing. And it looks like there's about 50 seconds left in this Tampa-Montreal game. And I'm watching Steve's face, and it looks like there's something very exciting happening, but we don't have a final score there yet. So we'll update you as soon as we do. Kristen says, I'm shocked by how little McDavid and Draisaitl have mattered in this series. Listen, it might not have showed up on the score sheet, but I would say Draisaitl has mattered a lot, has been factoring in a lot, and that's because of his play between Podkolzin and Kapanen, and I think he's got 6 points. Like, he's not been quiet, but he's been quiet, if you know what I mean. Alex S. says, McDavid, McFlurry, McRib don't matter. Ducks in 5. There you go. Now, I'm curious about a few things here. I'm curious about what happens when the Ducks test Tristan Jarry. He has not taken a shot yet, right? I'm curious about how the Ducks' young players react to the fact that this is the first time they've been in a real power position in the playoffs. These guys, they've played 3 playoff games in their entire career, most of them. So now you're in a position where you could control this series, put a stranglehold on the Edmonton Oilers. Are you going to rise to the occasion tonight? Already, you got a goal against, but that shouldn't bother you. John Carlson kicks the puck in. It's Draisaitl. Back to his defenseman. And a shot on Dostal. Not a big one there. So that's Trent Frederick, by the way. And it looks like the Montreal Canadiens have lost their game. The Montreal Canadiens have lost, kids. Unbelievable. The Tampa Bay Lightning, I thought Montreal was going to win that game, man. Well, the way it looked through the first 2 periods, it looked like it was over, but it is not over. That series is tied 2-2. That is going to be exciting. Tampa came back from down 2-0. There you go. Were they down 2-0? Oh, from that game. Yeah, not in the series. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, I was like, what? Yeah. Nikesh says, hey, Adam, coming in for the Montreal series. Welcoming all of our viewers from the Montreal series. We got a good one in Edmonton already. Kasperi Kapanen puts the team on the board. The Oilers are up early, which is what they would have wanted. And we'll see what happens. This game, this last game, game 3 between these two teams, we started to finally see some hatred. First 2 games kind of were just all fireworks and showboating. Last game, they started to get mad at each other. And we'll see how that continues to play out. Dickinson is back. He's already factored in. Henrique is not. The Ducks are otherwise, the Oilers somewhat healthy. The Ducks completely healthy though thus far. And really, there hasn't been a game in this series where there's been less than like 8 goals scored. So it would be very weird tonight to have something where, something like Montreal, Tampa, where it's only 5 goals. It's been crazy. Oh, we got a shot in. And this is something the Ducks have been really, really good at all series. Oh, Jake Trouba gets the puck poked back, and it's McDavid with Savoy. Ducks get back to break that up, but that could have been dangerous. Trouba. Back to his defense partner, Jackson Lacombe. Jackson Lacombe, a second-round draft pick in 2019. You know what? Those second-round picks, they do matter. They might take a while. And Jackson Lacombe, you think about that. That's 6 years of development to get him to this point. But, dude, that's a player right there. I think everybody would gladly trade their 6 years. He could have been drafted, by the way, by the Edmonton Oilers. He was taken, I believe, a pick after they picked. The Oilers could have picked him in the second round. They went with somebody else. And I don't believe that somebody else has played in the league. Corey Mueller, Wes McCauley never fails to play God in every game. There's a reason everybody knows Wes's name. It's not by accident. Skydiving Piggy. Wow, that's quite the name. Hey, Adam, I'm 2 years subbed on SDPN. Man, where does the time go? Always love tuning into your streams, and I can't wait for this series to go 7. I guarantee it. Skydiving Piggy is guaranteeing we're getting 7 games out of this series. Oh, man, I hope you're right. It was Xavier Bourgault, by the way, that the Edmonton Oilers picked in front of Lacombe. Thank you, Islanders. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering how producer Hayden is doing tonight. His Minnesota Wild obviously winning the other night. Producer Hayden, how are we feeling? He said he probably woke everyone up in a 6-mile radius when they scored, and the series has been tied up. But I do think I made a good choice in my playoff pool, going with a lot of Minnesota Wild players because I got Faber and I got Kaprizov. I also got Rantanen. I wanted to hedge my bets and make sure one of them got through. And guess what? I am second in my playoff pool. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, Lacombe is going to go to the box for tripping, and that's a very weak call. He's not going to like that. It is a call every time, though. Lazar kind of falls easily, but if it counts, it counts. It's going to be one of those games early, and I think the Ducks have got to be real careful here. Real careful. This is where the Oilers can go up big, right? You know, you look at the that's now that I get a second look at that. Yeah, that's pretty weak. He kind of taps his, but good for Lazar. Good for Lazar. Welcome everybody for the Montreal game. Hayden, what were you saying? Oilers 1 for 8 in this series on the power play, which is bizarre. This is the NHL's best power play. How is that possible? The Ducks have done a great job of doing boring shit, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. They've gotten sticks into passing lanes and bodies and things like that. It's kind of the story about nice shot there by Paling. That goes out. Jari with the first, I think, tricky save of the game. Honestly, I think that the Ducks have done really intelligent, mature defensive things. Wow. That Paling shot literally almost went in. Just went off the top of Jari's shoulder. Wow. Welcoming everybody in from the stream, from Steve Dangle. McDavid crosses center. McDavid with 1 goal and 1 assist in this series. They all came in the second and third period of the last game. We were wondering how many more periods he was going to go scoreless. It was only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Bouchard at the point to McDavid. McDavid to Draisaitl. Draisaitl. Bouchard loads up. Shot and a good save by Dostal through traffic. Bouchard back with the puck at the point. McDavid, top of the circle. Down low to Hyman. Sorry, that's Nuge. McDavid to Bouchard. Bouchard with a shot. Over to Nuge. And it scores. He scores again. Now, is it Nugent Hopkins or is it Hyman who's fallen? Did it go off? It looks like it might have gone off of Zach Hyman. And the Ducks are shocked. Their fans are shocked. 2-0 the score right now. 2-0. How is that possible? Couple of bang and crash goals. One of them at 5-on-5, 40 seconds. And this one comes off of some really great puck play by McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard, as you would expect. And what Nuge does here is, I guess he just banks it off of Hyman. Is that what happens? Or does that go in? It must hit somebody. Oh, it goes off Minchikov. So it is Nuge. Goes off the skate of Minchikov. That sucks. Welcoming everybody in from that crazy Tampa Montreal game. Cannot believe Tampa won that game. Cannot believe it. But you know what? That's sort of the way it goes when you play Tampa in the playoffs. That's a veteran team ready to rock and roll. Giggling Cat dropping $4 and not loving it. Not loving it at all. She's a Florida Panthers fan. She's not cheering for the Oilers. She's waiting for the Ducks to score. This is just this is just one of those things. This is a bad start for the Ducks. And by the way, I don't even know what our giveaway is. What is it, Hayden? Do we have any Sabres fans in the chat tonight? We've been giving away exclusively Oilers stuff. Do we have any Sabres fans in the chat tonight? Because if we do, we have a Buffalo Sabres hoodie to give you. All you have to do is click the link in the description right now or sometime, anytime before the end of the second intermission. As soon as you do that, your name will be entered. And beginning of the third, we're going to call out a name, and that's going to be your name to win. Okay? So if you want that sweater, or if you have someone in your life that does, click the link right now in the description. Remember, it's Canada only and excluding Quebec, because Quebec's got crazy lottery laws and America's got tariffs. So we're doing the best we can here, okay? Ostino 17. Just remember that the Oilers could have had Jesper Wallstedt. And you know what? Producer Hayden's thrilled about that. He's thrilled about that because they don't. They don't have him. Dolan says, Adam, are you ready for the Gillis Shaka era? I don't believe everything you hear. I mean, maybe that's the way it lines up, but I'm not particularly convinced one way or the other, because every person I talk to has a different answer, and I don't think the Leafs quite know yet. And I think here's the key: they brought a bunch of guys. I think the New York assistant general manager, the Boston assistant general manager, and the Dallas assistant general manager, who's apparently one of the final two people, brought them all to Toronto, and then had the interviews gone well, they were going to meet Ed Rogers. And they went well. All the interviews went well, but none of them met Ed Rogers, which means to me the Leafs had more to think about. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm waiting. Dwayne says penalty is spelled wrong, Adam. Did we spell the penalty wrong there, Hayden? What do we do? Penalty? Or do we say penalty? Is it penalty? It must be. Penalties. Where is it spelled? I didn't spell it. Jordan says John Chayka got the job, apparently. According to who? Who's saying John Chayka got the job? Yeah, nobody's saying John Chayka got the job. Trust me. I would have heard about it. I have heard John Chayka's name a lot, and not just from public reports. Some of my sources, I had a guy, I've had, a few people say the last couple of weeks, watch out for John Chayka, watch out for John Chayka. They really like Chayka. I'm like, no, I know Kipper said it on his show, but he didn't say it was a lock. Meme Empress, can we please delete the refs across the league, LOL? Also, it's spelled penalty instead of penalty. Where is this penalty? Must be on the stat sheet. Okay, well, you know what? Producer Hayden can only do what he can, all right? He was basking in the glow of the Minnesota Wild win, and there's only so much he can do. Oh, another one-timer in. Watch it. So the Oilers are doing some really smart here. Every time they shoot from the point, they're going bodies to the net. That is how the Ducks have scored a lot of their goals, too. There's been, for the Oilers, suspiciously few rush goals. In fact, has there been any? I can't really think of any. And so, because there's been a lot of goals in this series. You have to forgive me. I can't remember every goal. They've clearly changed up their strategy, and it's working. Big shot from the point, rebound, body in front of the net, and it's worked twice. Once at 5-on-5 with Kapanen, the other time with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He got a little lucky putting it off Minchikov's skate, but here we go. Heather the Avs fans, I have to share my joy here too, Adam. Sweep. The Avalanche have won. And by the way, I just want to say for my bracket, I picked the Avs in 4 in that series, so I feel pretty good about that. It's tough to pick a sweep in the first round. Usually there aren't a lot of them. And I think there's only 2 this first round. Listen, I feel bad for Kopitar too, Hayden. I do. I feel like, but I also feel like that was the most likely outcome given what the Kings do, which is get a bunch of guys who are old and slow and get older and slower. 4 years ago, with all the picks they had and all the young guys they had coming up, they seemed like a team that was really, really on the rise. And they've just consistently got mid guys. And then they fired their GMs. And then they got a mid GM who likes mid guys. Nothing against Holland. He's had a couple of great signings. Like, hey, the Ekholm trade was great. The Hyman signing was great in Edmonton. Like, masterful, I would even say. But let's be honest. There's a lot of, for every Zach Hyman, there's like 10 Cody Cece's in Ken Holland's book, right? And so Yeah. A goddamn carrot says, as a Canucks fan, I'm absolutely terrified of a Habs Game 7. Tantalizing close game tonight. Go Habs and Sabres. Love you, what you all do. Keep it up. Hey, thank you so much, Carrot. We appreciate you. Heather says, ultimate hats off to Kopitar, class act captain. Absolutely. Was a great player, best Slovenian player ever by a huge margin. And there's Troy Terry with the puck in. Ducks have not had a lot going on the offense in this period. They've, obviously allowed the early goal. And then, of course, took a penalty as well, which led to an Oiler goal. Not gone their way. But this is the first line. This is Carlson. This is Gauthier. This is Troy Terry. We'll see what they can do. Excuse me. 10:55 remaining in the first period. Oh, we got a turnover. It's Gauthier to Terry. It goes into his skates, and out come the Oilers. Jordan says Nick Waugh has been so clutch in these playoffs. He's already scored more goals, by the way, with the Avs if you count regular season and playoffs, than he did in his entire time with the Maple Leafs. Just brutal. And that's not his fault. That'd be the Leafs' fault. Hey, Adam, how was your weekend? Thank you, Showtime, for asking. My weekend was great. How was yours? Went a little too fast. But a great weekend. Got to see my mom. Went out for dinner with her last night. And then had a steak dinner with my wife tonight. And got to hang out with you guys on Friday night. It's beautiful. Colt 289, go Bruins. Am I right, guys? I'm in shambles. I can't believe that game today. And you know what I also can't believe? That's apparently, we might have a too many men. Oh, we were real close there with the Ducks. It is an offside. It is not a too many men. That got close. Yeah, so I feel like what was I completely lost my train of thought. I feel like with the Bruins, that's apparently their worst home playoff loss ever in their whole history. And I'm like, man, what a different team to cheer for. Because I remember going to Boston and watching the Leafs lose 6-0. And 6-1 is the worst they've done at home. Buddy, we did 6-1 twice last year in the second round against the Panthers. Game 5 and Game 7. Just the two most important games of, the playoffs. Just, if you think as a Bruins fan that today's sad, it could be sadder. I also think the Bruins push back in the next game. I think they're going to go into Buffalo and at least be a huge handful. I don't think it's going to be a 6-1 game. I think Buffalo's better than them. And I think they're going to be better than the Bruins for a while. But just like I think Montreal is going to be better than the Leafs for a while, I think Montreal, if they win this series, the Buffalo-Montreal series that could follow out of this, if that happened, like, we're talking about the new Kings of the Atlantic, right? Something the Leafs never really were. I guess the one time. Anyway, Tiny Washbear, you say the Leafs lost 6-1 twice, but according to Paul Maurice Marchand, etc., they were definitely a great team, and it's the fans' fault. Of course it is. Don't forget, Toronto fans, just too hard to play here. It's just too hard. So we're coming back to the game here. Denise says, have you met the new Victory Puppy? No, he's only been around for 3 days. And I have not been down, but he looks adorable. And we got some pictures today sent to my phone. And he's just a little Max. He looks like a little walking piece of fried chicken. He's just the most adorable little guy. And I love puppies because they're like, run, 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 crash. Run, 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 crash. Big hit by the Ducks here. They got to get this forecheck going if they're going to get back in this game. It's Beckett Seneca. Back to the point. Lacombe. Down low to Seneca. Back to Lacombe at the point. Lacombe with the shot in. That hits a body, goes wide. Szymanski behind the net. Seneca does like a flip pass, and that's a really bad one across the ice. Got lucky. Lucky it was only Trent Frederick there to intercept it. Had it been somebody faster, that could have been a bit of a handful for Lacombe, but he's okay. Go, Jay. Tip by Troy Terry. Oilers are doing a great job of just interrupting any flow the Ducks might want to have. Really good. Meme Empress, answer us, Adam. What breed is our new overlord? I think he's. Oh, puck just skidded wide. Hang on one sec, Meme. I'll get to you. The puppy. I think he's a doodle. Pretty sure he's a doodle, but he's like a caramel colored doodle. Not as light as the other, as Iggy and Charlie. Emo Jalapeno. Max is extra crispy fried in cute juice. Yes, I agree. That's good. Oh, is he a rescue? I don't know. Oh, out front, score! Oh, why did I say score? I meant shoot. It was Mason McTavish on a 2-on-1, but he just shot it high. Tristan Jarry has not been tested all that much. The Oilers are playing as though they know Tristan Jarry's in net, which is the smart play. They should have played that way in front of Connor Ingram. Smile and Popcorn, Mr. Adam, much love. How long before Hagel is named captain of the Bolts? I know it's unrelated, but I feel like he's our future leader. I couldn't agree more. And whenever Victor Hedman gives that up, whenever he's ready to give that up, it'll be Brandon Hagel. I mean, he was a dog tonight. That was like, you know, if the Lightning go on a run, they're going to talk about tonight's game as a pretty massive turning point. They were down 2-1 in the series, down 2-0 in the game, on the road against a very hostile Montreal crowd who were loud and boisterous and amazing. I would tell you, Brandon Hagel stole the show tonight. He was great. Denise says, you forgot Choo 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 Remax. I thought the Choo 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 was just the trains. Sometimes I get it mixed up. 7:22 left in the first period. Oilers, dare I say, playing a bit of a boring game through a good chunk of this first period. Just a little bit of a neutral zone trap going on. Ducks struggling to get any sort of offensive zone possession happening. Oh, big hit there. Seneca able to bounce off of the defenseman for the Oilers. Oh, there was a turnover, but Wallman's able to get it. Some booing going on from the fans in Anaheim. Sports Talk Chud, Bruins exceeded my expectations this year. Love it if the Sabres are great for a long time. Less so for the Habs, but hey, it's great for the league when they're good. Hey, it's great for the league when the Habs are good. It's great for the league when Detroit's good. It's going to be great for the league that Buffalo's good. They are consistently one of the top markets in the league in terms of television ratings. If the Sabres are good, Buffalo's a real sports town, right? When the Bills are great, and they've been pretty damn great for the last 5 years, you can't keep them away. I think that what you're seeing outside of KeyBank and all those guys, standing out there in the snow and the sleet and taking their shirts off and getting crazy, Buffalo is a hockey market. It's a dream if you're a hockey fan. And I think this team being this good is very, very exciting. It's awesome. And you know what? At a certain point, there needs to be a changing of the guard. How many years of Tampa, Toronto, Boston are we going to have at the top of the Atlantic with nobody challenging? Took a while, but Montreal and Buffalo, damn. And I actually think, and I know everybody's clowning the Senators, I think the Senators are a hell of a lot better than what they showed this year. Remember, they had like league worst goaltending for more than half the year. If the reports are true that Brady Tkachuk gets traded, it's not like he would get traded, and listen, the reports are very, very, very loose. It's like might look at potentially move it, whatever. Like St. Louis has not wanted to trade Robert Thomas, right? I think they'd trade Robert Thomas. They want to trade him, but they want to trade it for somebody great. I think if they traded for Brady Tkachuk, they'd be giving up Robert Thomas. So I feel like whoever's coming back for Ottawa is going to be pretty damn good. That's all I got to say. I think Brady will stick around, but maybe not. Maybe not. Meme Empress, retrievers can be caramel colored, so Golden Doodle 3 is entirely possible. Both of mine were supposed to be sugar, as in cream or white, and yet are they darker? I didn't know that. Anyway, yeah, that's Stevie Boy with his pup is adorable. You got to check out pictures if you haven't seen them. Ian says, don't forget Florida. They've been pretty good the last 5 years as well. Well, nobody's forgetting Florida. I think it's a pivotal summer for the Bruins. Clearly for the Leafs it is. But like when you look at the top of the division, Tampa, elite regular season again. Montreal, Buffalo, elite regular seasons. Boston had a nice little comeback year. Detroit just missed. And then it's like Toronto. I don't know how the Leafs get into the playoffs next year. I just don't. I don't know how it happens. What's that, Hayden? Hayden thinks that the Florida Panthers window is closed. Giggling Cat is going to be very upset with you. I hope you know that. He's apologizing to Giggling Cat, but he's standing firm on that. Carrot says, my hot take is that whoever wins the Buffalo-Montreal series will win the Cup. I disagree with that. I think it's going to be Colorado or Minnesota that wins the Cup. My pick currently is Colorado, but we'll see what happens. Because Minnesota hasn't gotten as deep as they perhaps have needed to in previous years, but they made the moves they needed to make. Hayden, by the way, is loving the Michael McCarron trade. People forgot about that, but Michael McCarron, he said he's an animal. Meme Empress, there are toasted marshmallow golden doodles as well. I didn't know that. These are things that I just did not know. Watch the Oilers, by the way, through the neutral zone. Seneca gets taken down, and looks like he's a little hurt there. No call. I think it was a trip. I don't think it was anything that serious, but so Trouba almost killed Matt Savoy right there. Literally almost killed him. But thankfully, only got his stick because Savoy, he could have been dead. When Trouba steps into somebody like that, watch out. Oh, Killorn around the net. Finally, some spots for the Ducks here. Lacombe with a shot. Great save by Jari. And that puck is cleared out. But that is the first real pressure we've seen the Ducks give the Oilers all period long. McDavid looks like he's in some discomfort on the bench. I didn't see what happened to him. Oh, so McDavid... McDavid popped Seneca in the face right at the blue line. Refs missed it. Now, Seneca is a guy that even when the Leafs were pissed with the Ducks that the Leafs were targeting, I think he's a pain in the ass. I think players hate playing this guy. Shot! And another big save by Jari, this time off Cutter Gauthier, who's had some great shots in this series, and obviously a beautiful goal last game. 4:20 left in the first. Relatively quick moving first period here. Not a lot of whistles, one penalty. And the Oilers up 2-0. Shot! And a good save, Dostal off the blocker. Podkolzin on the boards. He's got Draisaitl with him. Podkolzin to Draisaitl. Minchikov's able to pick that up. Out come the Ducks. John Carlson fires it deep. Leo Carlson giving chase along with Moore. Ducks are changing. Moore gets knocked down. He's got two Oilers on him in the corner, and he's just holding tight until his line mates, Washe and Vael, can get to him. Trouba with a shot from the point. That goes off a skate and wide. Lacombe to Trouba. Looks like Edmonton might get a penalty here. Oh, and a big save by Tristan Jarry. Vael had a great opportunity to put one home. And it is a delayed penalty, by the way. And the Oilers still have not gotten the puck. 6-on-5. Jackson Lacombe is going to reset, let the fourth line get off the ice. He does a quick stutter step and turns around. Granlund fires the puck low. And Connor McDavid, that's not Connor McDavid. It's a number less than that, 96. That's Jake Wallman. Picks it up. 3:04 left in the first period. Anaheim looking to take advantage. They've been very, very good on the power play in this series thus far, but it looks like a different defense scheme for the Oilers in Game 4 here. They are playing a very effective, tight game. The Ducks have only recently been able to get a couple of shots, couple of rebounds on Jari the way that they have been the first three games on Ingram. Wow, Vael two swipes at it. Had he got the first one, I think that would have gone in. Wallman for interference. Ducks win the face-off draw. Been a real Achilles heel for the Oilers. John Carlson, that is. Shot from the point. That goes, hits a body. Oh, Ducks almost are able to get it back, but no. Dickinson's able to change. That's a key penalty killer for the Oilers. They're going to love having him back. 1:40 on the power play. Cross center is Leo Carlson. Drops for Granlund. Back to the point. It's John Carlson. Terry to Carlson. Back to Terry. Terry's had a great series so far. To John Carlson. Ducks staying to the outside right now. They got somebody in front of the net, but they have not been able to get that puck in. And Jari sees that through traffic. And a nice catch. 1:13 left on the power play. Oilers playing very aggressive PK there too, not giving the Ducks a lot of room to get set up. I also, by the way, we haven't mentioned in this series, but the guy that's been responsible for a lot of the great defensive play from the Ducks, and great's on a curve here, right? Where we're, the Ducks are still allowing like 4 or 5 goals a game too, is Jay Woodcroft, former coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Who better to match up with the Oilers than Jay Woodcroft? Carlson loses that draw, and Bouchard is going to get this and Bouch bomb it all the way down to the Ducks zone, where it's stopped up by Dostal, who leaves it for John Carlson. Carlson leaves it. Troy Terry, cross center to Leo Carlson, gains the zone. Carlson back to Granlund. To John Carlson, to Terry. Terry, weak pass out front, and that pass is thrown out. John Carlson and the first power play unit are going to change. Out comes Jackson Lacombe. I found it really interesting in this setup that Jackson Lacombe is the guy running the second power play unit. He's been the guy running the first power play unit for the Ducks most of this series, but I think Quenneville wants to spread them out. They've both been very effective, but I do think it's weird that Lacombe is not out there with guys like Carlson, Leo Carlson, that is, Cutter Gauthier. Lacombe does? Lacombe leads the Ducks in points. A series shot! Oh, man. Cutter Gauthier knows he missed a beautiful opportunity. I think that puck just got high on him, and he fired that over the net, and that power play is over. Good kill by the Oilers. Ducks get a few shots and a few good chances. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go in this period. Power play over. We're back to 5-on-5. Yeah, I just think Jackson Lacombe, if I was going to make any criticism of Coach Q, I'd have him on power play 1. Oh, puck gets dribbled in, and Jari can't cover it up. Another opportunity for Vael, but unable to get to it. Oilers cleared it. 32 seconds to go in the first period. Again, a very, very quick period by National Hockey League standards. About 40 minutes here. Not bad. And most of that, by the way, the lack of emotion is the early goals by the Oilers. Getting Kapanen on the board 40 seconds in. Then Nuge on the power play about 5.5, 6 minutes in. Solid work. Edmonton Oilers coming out being a veteran team, a team that's been here before, a team that's not afraid, and they're just showing the Gauthier pass right here. Does it bounce? I think he just, I don't know what happened there, but it feels like that puck either got away from him or he just caught it on the heel. It was high. Cantankerous Games, hot take for you, Adam. The way Tocchet is talking about Michkov, it's setting up for a trade for Pettersson in the offseason, SDPN swag, if I'm right. Hey, you listen, it's all yours. But I do not think, does Tocchet like Pettersson that much? I don't think Tocchet's a Pettersson fan, guys. Oh, there's offside, and it's 2 seconds to go in this period. Respectfully, no. Don't think so. Also, the Flyers are going to wait with Michkov. They're going to hope he comes to camp in shape, and they're going to hope he has a bounce back year. You don't trade a guy at his lowest value. Guy like that, unless he's begging for a trade and doesn't want to play for you, you keep him, and you see it through. Michkov was amazing in his rookie year. He's not all of a sudden done. He didn't forget how to play hockey. He didn't work out. We all saw what he looked like coming into camp. You can't catch up. Talk has said it. It is what it is. Somebody said, hey, which Pettersson? Woke up, maybe Marcus Pettersson. He probably likes Marcus Pettersson. Rick Tocchet does. And that's the end of the first. Ducks outshoot the Oilers 13-9, but really not a whole ton of high danger chances against Tristan Jarry. The Oilers played really, really strong in front of him. Really impressed with the Oilers game. This was you know, I can tell you as a Leaf fan, going into this game, if the Leafs were down 2-1, I'd be like, oh no, are they going to fold? The Oilers just never fold. They never, ever fold. Never. Henderson Galbraith, go Bolts! Woo! By the way, we got a Buffalo Sabres for all of our Sabres fans. We got a Buffalo Sabres very sexy sweater to give to you. Sign up in the description right now. The link is right in there. Just click the link, get in the description, get your name in there. Do it before next period because you'll forget watching the game, and then it'll be the second intermission, and then you'll have no time left. Okay? Canada only, not Quebec. And by the way, the second intermission, the end of the second intermission, that's when we make the draw. So get it in before that. I'm just saying. There's free stuff. But again, Canada only, excluding Quebec, tariffs and Quebec lottery laws. Don't ask. It's just the way it is. I don't know. Hey, Hayden, how long is our thing? Like, do I have time here, or do I throw? Okay, so let me say this. Oiler fans, I just want to ask you quickly before we go to clip. Cautiously optimistic? I would be. Are you feeling excited? Do you trust it? Remember, I don't think any 2-goal lead except for Friday night's game survived. There was a 6-4 2-goal lead. This series has been bonkers outside of like empty netters and stuff like that. Jeff says, I'm definitely cautiously optimistic. The Veej says, gotta work a transcontinental flight to Philly during the game tomorrow, and it's either going to be the best or worst flight of my life. Oh, man, that's tough. Alex says, Oiler fan here with the high hopes. Yanni Havisto, I picked the Oilers to win tonight on the NHL Fantasy app. Smart of you. TJ Keys, we got this. That's how the Oilers operate, man. It doesn't matter how far they're out. What did I just say there? It doesn't matter how far they out. Sorry. Must be my Scarborough talking. Anyway, Alan says 50 to 60. Still watch. Next year, he will be there. Mark my words. I'm not sure who you're talking to. Sports Talk Chud. Nah, the Ducks have it tonight. 11:55. Adam, who's in net for Edmonton? Tristan Mother effing Jarry. Tristan Jarry, the starry. All right? Now, I'm going to be back here at the beginning of the second intermission. I know it's Sunday night, and I know some of you are on the East Coast. East Coasters, you stick around. You stay here. You stay here with me. You watch this game. This has been the best series. I don't care. You tell those Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay Lightning fans, sod off, boys and girls. This has been the best series. It's been the most fun, okay? Don't miss this. I'll see you guys at the beginning of the second intermission. Let's roll the clip.
Hello, friends. Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another episode of Big Dubs, where we take a look at the best from around the WHL over round 2 of the playoffs. Now, it's difficult to get into a Big Dubs video, but you know what we're very picky about? Big hits. But we thought, well, this one has to get in. Here's Corbin Vaughn of the Prince George Cougars laying out Islanders prospect Jacob Kwasnika.
What a booming hit, Vaughn on Kwasnika. But I'll give Kwasnika credit. After taking that hit, he got right back up. It was a clean hit just inside the blue line, and the Penticton 18-year-old forward got right back up.
Sheesh! Now, Penticton V's fans, relax. I can already hear ya. Hey, we won! I know. The Prince George Cougars went down in 6 games to the Penticton V's, but as you can see, they did not go down without a fight. And how about this? I don't know what it is with the WHL, but Corbin Vaughn has a twin brother, Jackson Vaughn, who is with the Everett Silvertips, who are off to the Western Conference Championship Series. They might have lost the game and they might have lost the series, but this was a thunderous hit. Corbin Vaughn, big dub. Now, believe it or not, we're going to stay with the Prince George Cougars here. This kid is unreal, and you're going to see a lot more footage of him leading up to the NHL draft in June. Here's Carson Karls.
There's Ash in the left wing, into the middle to Karls. He'll dance it, here it comes. Carson Karls scores!
ridiculous solo effort from Carson Karls. In 10 playoff games, somehow that was Karls' only goal, but he had 9 assists to add to that, so 10 points in 10 games. Carson Karls is a finalist for the Bill Hunter Memorial Trophy, which goes to the WHL Defenseman of the Year. You could say he's good. And this is big for the draft. Carson Karls, 3rd amongst all North American skaters leading into this draft. He's pretty good. But once again, even though Prince George bowed out in 6 to Penticton, big dub. Let's stay with the theme of big plays by defensemen, eh? Here's Mazden Leslie. You think you scored, did you? Not according to Mazden.
Wrenched by Miettinen. Miettinen has it on the goal line. Back to Bear. In the circles. Van Hanen. Shot on the goal line. They score! Just barely! The replay will tell all. It hit off the pads. Bonini reached back. The whole puck has to cross the goal line. And Mazden Leslie is the one that sweeps that off the line.
Whoa! When they talk about a game of inches, that is centimeters, that is millimeters, that is under a microscope. Did you notice how I ran out of units of measurement? I forgot. What, nanometer? I could have said a nanometer. Now, unfortunately, Mazden Leslie and the Kelowna Rockets would see their season end in Game 5 in overtime. 2, of course, the Everett Silvertips, who are great. You can't do much more than Mazden Leslie did. Over a point per game during the regular season and plays like this in the playoffs. Even though it was in a losing effort, that's a big save and a big dub. Now, we're going to show something that we haven't shown yet in this video. A highlight from a team winning. We're being nice. Don't judge. Good to be nice. Stop it. Somehow, this is the second instance of a twin. We talked about the Vaughn twins. How about the Rucks? Here's Liam Ruck of the Medicine Hat Tigers taking on the Calgary Hitmen.
Off the draw, left of Casey, puck to Calgary. Meunier back pass knocked out by Liam Ruck, trying to get to it shorthanded. Shook off Pisarchuk. Now in with a shot, he scores! Liam Ruck, a shorthanded snipe for the Medicine Hat Tigers. And it's tied the game at 2 here in the second period.
Second goal of the game, his 4th of the playoffs.
Oh my gosh. Liam Ruck, I think maybe we throw out solo effort a little too easily. That was a solo effort, just powering by everybody and ripping the thing. Ripping it like Velcro. Ripping it like a late assignment. Ruck had a hat trick in Game 3 and tacked on an assist for a 4-point night. Just casual. Liam Ruck is the reigning WHL Player of the Week. Should throw that in there. And he was ranked 20th amongst North American skaters, according to NHL Central Scouting. His brother Marcus was ranked 23rd. Who's making these? The Ruck twins combined for 212 points this season. They have a combined 18 points in a combined 18 games in these playoffs. All right. Someone smart is going to draft one of them, and someone smarter is going to draft them both. Oh, but they're light. Yeah, their numbers aren't. Like, we're really going to do this again. All season long, I was laughing about the fact that Cameron Schmidt was available as late as he was, and look at the season that he's had in the WHL. We're really about to do it again with the Rucks, except it's 2 guys. I don't get it, but that goal right there, that's a big dub. And for our next highlight, it's Liam Ruck again. Jonas Wu of the Medicine Hat Tigers buries one off a crazy pass from Liam Ruck.
Right side of the Hitman blue line. Drop pass off for Marcus Ruck. He'll wait in the corner. Center for Liam. Touch to Wu. Shoots. He scores! A silky smooth feed from Liam Ruck. Jonas Wu, the one-timer, stretches the Tiger lead to 2 in Game 4. It's 3-1.
20th? 20th. 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 20th? 20th. It's like they were like, you know what? We're wrong about Liam, but let's be more wrong with Marcus. I don't know what I can say that I haven't already. Oh, why don't I talk about Jonas Wu? He's pretty good. The 19-year-old is having himself a heck of a playoff. In 8 games, he has 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. Undrafted, by the way. The Medicine Hat Tigers continue to be a wagon, and somehow an underappreciated one. That setup, that finish. Big dub. So, my friends, What do you think? Only 4 teams remain. We have the Everett Silvertips taking on the Penticton Vs, and the Medicine Hat Tigers taking on the Prince Albert Raiders. Hello, friend. Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another episode of Oh Wow, where we take a look at the best from around the OHL in round 2 of the playoffs. I want to start with a big save from a goalie in this one. Here's Christian Kirsch of the Kitchener Rangers.
Woolley with a shot that was blocked, and here's another lead pass for Sharon, but this time Kirsch will get it. Gave it up though. Here's a chance in front. Oh, what a save by Kirsch! Travis Hayes was robbed as Kirsch.
That is absolutely absurd. The camera did the zoom in on the guy who scored and everything, except he didn't score. Christian Kirsch keeps that game within 1 and gave Kitchener a realistic chance at the sweep that night. Now, they didn't get it, but they would knock off the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds 1 game later in Game 5. That save, though, that's an all-time I got robbed reaction. Christian Kirsch of the Kitchener Rangers, who take on the Windsor Spitfires in round 3. Oh, wow. Hey, speaking of Windsor, check out the dangles from Anthony Cristoforo of the Spitfires.
A sweep over the attack for the Birds, a sweep over the Guelph Storm for the Spits. There's Kevin He with a head of steam. Nice poke check at center. Nesbitt got it off of his tape. Now Cristoforo to bring it in. Dancing in, goes 5-hole and he scores. Cristoforo, as Bakari was trying to poke check it, he puts it through the wickets. And Windsor's on the board first.
Dude, did you just nutmeg a defender into a pool cue goal in the first 5 minutes of a playoff game? Gosh, now Anthony Cristoforo, we shouldn't be surprised. He's having an unbelievable playoff. The 20-year-old had 61 points last season, 62 points this season. 10 points in 8 playoff games so far, 2 goals, 8 assists. Although, turns out he can score goals pretty well. Oh, worth mentioning, he's a defenseman? Anthony Cristoforo. Oh, wow. Now, coming up next, this is absurd. It is a 5-5 tied playoff game in the 3rd period. Kitchener, Sault Ste. Marie. It is a barn burner of a game, and this is a barn burner of a goal, a 4-way passing play. Yuck.
Here comes O'Reilly over the line. O'Reilly will stop. O'Reilly, he's got it to Wood. Wood! To Ryan Edwards scores! Tick-tack goal! Give Dylan Edwards his 2nd of the game, and Kitchener's back in front, 6-5.
Put that sequence on a loop. What a passing play from the Rangers. O'Reilly with patience catches Woolley, the trailer, and then it's Pridham finding Edwards back door as George is hung out to dry.
I'm sorry. Producer Hayden, please play just the play-by-play call again. Listen to the announcer, he can't keep up.
Comes O'Reilly over the line. O'Reilly will stop. O'Reilly, he's got it to Wood. Wood! To Ryan Edwards scores!
O'Reilly, ooh, hey, ah! But dude, I get it. That's exactly my reaction to the goal. That is Dylan Edwards who ends up finishing that off, if you were paying attention, to make it 6-5. Fans got their money's worth that night. And like I said before, Kitchener moves on to the conference final. This goal. Oh, wow. For our final highlight, you know what? It doesn't always have to be the biggest, most dazzling goal like that. Sometimes it's what the goal means. Brantford Bulldogs up 2-0 on the North Bay Battalion. They have a stranglehold on that series. If they win this thing in overtime, and in overtime, Ben Danford. Leaf prospect, you might have heard of him.
Finds Danford on the near side. Danford steadies a bouncing puck, sends it behind the goal.
It's a nice play by Danford.
O'Brien to the far side. Danford looks, sets, fires, he scores! Ben Danford with the overtime winner with 5:26 left in the 2nd overtime period. And the Toronto Maple Leafs first rounder gives the Bulldogs a 3-0 series lead.
Ben Danford ices Game 3, hilariously, his first and only goal of the OHL playoffs so far. Would you believe me if I told you Ben Danford has played in 54 career OHL playoff games? 5 in his first season, okay. 21 in the next two, followed by this run that could go a lot longer. Big goal for a big team, hoping to have a big playoff. Ben Danford. Oh, wow.
A smothering first period by the Edmonton Oilers. Smothering. They were great. That's the best they've looked since the playoffs began. Your Edmonton Oilers are looking strong. And you know what? I say that, and I mean that over the fact, remember the first and third period of game one? The Oilers were great in those periods too. But this was the best because they kept the chances low. If you look at the shots are a bit of a misnomer, right? What kind of a shot are we getting? Are we getting a Carolina Hurricane shot? Or are we getting like a high danger crazy shot, right? Not a lot of high danger going on for the Ducks. They might have outshot the Oilers in that first period, and that's mostly because of one power play, but I have to say the Oilers look good. Coach Q's got his work cut out for him. Whatever he's saying to these guys in the intermission, they're going to have to switch it up. Now, big shout out to the Canes, who it's so funny, right? Like you watch that series with Ottawa, and did any game look completely out of hand to you in terms, not the physicality? Physicality, they looked out of hand. Did any of those games look like, oh my God, this team does not deserve to be in the building? Like there's times with LA and Colorado, a series that literally nobody paid attention to because everybody knew what the outcome was, where like everybody was like, yeah, this isn't close and they're not good and the Avs are good. I never said that about the Senators, but they just couldn't score. They just couldn't score. I think that comes, you got to hand it to the Canes, man. Smothering defense. And Logan Stankoven was able to score. It's kind of crazy, too, when you think about, to have Brady Tkachuk go the entire series without a point. Tim Stützle had an assist. You don't win much when those are your best players, if that's the way it's going to be. Like, that sucks. That sucks. I'm just looking up Senators postseason. How did this even happen? Drake Batherson did have 4, but he's the only one outside of Yakimchuk, Sanderson, and Cousins that had more than 2. He had 3 goals and an assist. Cousins had a couple of goals. Basically, that's it. 5 goals scored the whole period, the whole thing. That's just, that's smothering. 5 goals in 4 games. Like that, I just don't know how that happens. I can remember, wasn't there a series in like 2016 or 2017 where Nashville and Chicago played and Nashville swept them and Chicago got 3 goals in 4 games? That's the one that I think stands out as that's the worst example. And like the thing for the Senators too is they kind of squandered an unbelievable performance by Linus Ullmark. He was great. Linus was awesome. Anyway, Chloe says, just joined. Is Jari playing better than Ingram, or has Edmonton defense just woken up? The second one. We don't know how good Jari's played. The Oilers have just done a really good job in front of him. The Oilers are playing like they know Tristan Jarry's in net. Brandon says, Adam, you were in the Canes post-series troll video. Was I? Good. Listen, the Canes continue to dunk on me. Another team that has dunked on us, I think I was in this one too. I know Steve was in the Pittsburgh one. If Pittsburgh loses and they put out that video, I'm going to kind of laugh. I'm going to have to laugh a little bit. Canes, were we hit by the Sabres? No, I don't think we were. We were not hit by the Sabres. Yeah, I don't know if the Sabres featured us. I don't know if we said anything that egregious about them. Connor Murphy with the shot, and that is tipped by Pud Colson. By the way, this second line for the Oilers opening up this period again. Right move. They won the faceoff draw and then immediately put 40 seconds on the board in the Edmonton zone. Jason Dickinson back to the Oilers bench, and out comes Leo Carlson and the Anaheim Ducks to Lacombe. Drops it for Terry. Terry and Lacombe are in. Dropped it for Carlson to Trouba at the line. That is shot and redirected into the corner. Trouba stops it at the blue line. Down into the Oilers zone it goes. Dickinson and Terry after it. And there's Matt Savoy. Flipped it in. Dostal able to cover that. And we're going to have a defensive zone draw for the Ducks. Have to wonder, yeah, Edmonton, sorry, is that Connor McDavid wincing a little bit? Are you guys seeing that? Is Connor McDavid wincing a little bit here? He does not look comfortable. It probably won't matter. You know Connor. He'll just perform anyway. Dolan says, Adam, you can't win with Tkachuk. He's not captain material. Listen, I think Brady was hurt. It's going to come out. Like, didn't he get hit a few weeks ago and, like, lost his vision? That's scary. I don't think he was at full health. I'm not saying that gives him a pass, but I don't think he was at full health. Fourth line for the Ducks out there right now against the Edmonton third line, excuse me. And again, in come the Oilers. Hines, Nuge, struggling for it, along with Washi. And there's just, the puck is just frozen along the board here. They can't get it out. They're just, refs are just letting it go. Fans are booing. Wow, the Oilers are just literally holding that puck against the wall. Just burn time wherever possible. That was Dickinson. Really smart move. Oh, and a shot from the point, and Dickinson almost got a stick on that. And now he's causing trouble around the Oilers' net. This is Dickinson, who missed last game and missed a bunch of time towards the end of the season. He's been pretty good pickup. The Ducks are going to have to get the Oilers off their game somehow. Whatever the plan was at coming into this period, it hasn't worked yet. And I know that they're going to get an offensive zone faceoff, the Oilers are. But the Oilers just have to keep doing what they're doing. Like, if they keep playing like this, they're going to be able to defend a two-goal lead, which they haven't been able to in the last few games. Jarry fired the puck. Tristan Jarry almost got cut up with there, but he's okay. Nurse shot. That hits Carlson. Goes wide into the Ducks zone. Sort of a lot of nothing happening right now in the game. Bouchard in. Ooh, dangerous shot. Ekholm from the point. Draisaitl with a shot. Oh, that was going in. If Dostal does not get over fast enough, that's top corner and in. Boy, this second line for the for the Oilers is so strong. They're so good. Wow. So Bouchard tried to find Trent Frederick, and John Carlson just sort of brought him down. Look at Draisaitl here. Bang. That was close. That was close. That's where he scores, too. So here we go. Granlund wins the faceoff against Leon Draisaitl. And the Ducks flip it to center. Oh, here we go. Seneca in, and it's a high stick. So that's going to be blown dead. Puck holes and bumps him after the play. Rene says Leon's hurting. Well, Leon's been playing pretty great for a guy that's hurting. He always does. He always does. Taylor says, what do you think the chances are the Oilers are playing better defense because they don't trust Jarry? I think that's a 10 out of 10 good take. I think you're absolutely right. And you know what? Sometimes you got to play like that reverse mind trick. They felt like they could rely on Ingram. I thought they did a great job I thought Ingram did a great job, but they kind of hung him out to dry so many times that I guess, sorry about the yawn. I guess they kind of felt like, all right, we gotta try something else. So it's Draisaitl against Leo Carlson. Carlson's been an animal in the faceoff dot. We'll see if Draisaitl, yeah, Carlson wins it again. John Carlson from the point. That puck goes wide, and Minchikov, who was pinching, is not there to get it. And now it's going to be Podkolzin with a sneaky shot on Dostal. Tried to get the rebound, too. It went off the backboards and took a funny hop out front, but he's covered off by John Carlson. Back in to the Duck zone go the Oilers. And it's this second line again. Podkolzin, Kapanen, and Draisaitl. Crazy. Leo Carlson carries the puck over the blue line. Tried to make a pass, but it is intercepted, and Troy Terry cannot keep it in. Back come the Oilers again. Kapanen to Draisaitl. It's the second line. Bushbaum from the point. That finds the pad of Lucas Dostal. Out come the Ducks. And Carlson now on a 2-on-1 shot and a good save as Carlson gets knocked by Bouchard right into Tristan Jarry. And Bouchard's trying to pick Carlson up. Carlson's had a great series, but he's been a bit quiet tonight. You could tell he's trying to get things going. And this is a heck of a shot. Great save by Jarry, and he just kind of gets tripped up awkwardly by Bouchard, who I think was just coming in to cut off the angle. Giggling Cat said, I missed a ton of the game, and nothing's changed, and Adam's yawning. This is why it's not good when the Oilers lead. The Ducks just have not got not a lot of mojo happening. But it's the Granlund line with Seneca and Killorn out there. They've been dangerous this playoff. And they win the faceoff draw. It goes to Jarry immediately in his glove, and it's whistled dead. Ducks doing a great job winning these faceoffs. Alex says, if individual teams did MVPs every year, Leon would have won the last 6 seasons. He is a dog. There's no question. Okay, Granlund again against Dickinson. Granlund wins the draw, but it actually went off his own skate and back to the Oilers, and the Oilers hit it down. Lacombe hit it out of mid-air. It goes back to the Oilers, and Jackson Lacombe has it in the Ducks zone. Seneca to Granlund. Granlund pumps that in. The forecheck for the Ducks, not as strong today as it has been. Shot in. Jarry with another save with the glove. And that was off the stick of Jake Trouba. Killorn and Wallman getting into it at the side of the net. One thing that's clear is not that either of these teams are soft, but they're not going to drag you into the muck the way the Florida Panthers could. At least they don't need to. And I wonder if the Edmonton Oilers, who have played teams like the Panthers and won games against them, maybe they didn't win the series, but 6 games and 7 games, they've played a lot of hockey. I wonder if the Oilers can use a little bit of that against these Ducks, who have never really experienced that. You know, Kreider has, Granlund has, but these rookie guys, Mason McTavish hasn't. McDavid and Draisaitl out on the ice together. That's notable. We should pay attention to that. Zach Hyman out there with them, too. Lacombe leaving it for Trouba. Trouba headmans the puck. It's tipped at center ice, so this is going to be no icing. Kreider chasing Bouchard. Bouchard is using those that wheel of his. Oh, big save. Bouchard made a great play to McDavid. McDavid across the blue line into the glove of Dostal, who had to be careful with that one. Watch Connor here. Just grabs the puck. Good shot. Good shot. McDavid looking active. He was looking uncomfortable tonight, so if you're an Oiler fan, you're probably pretty pumped about that. Still need him to do this. This is a point-a-game in the playoffs kind of guy. You need him at that level for the Edmonton Oilers to really put this one away. This game in particular. Washi loses the face-off draw to Dickinson. Connor Murphy, who scored his first playoff goal just the other night, cuts in front. Ooh, that was close. Ducks got a stick on it. Could have been dangerous. Puck at the side. Dostal had to make a really quick move. Oiler players were in there. I think it was Trent Frederick ready to get it. Ian Moore to Washi. Edmonton is going to take a penalty here. It happened behind the play, so I wasn't able to see it, but I do know as Connor Murphy touches it, that will be, oh, here we go, Trent Frederick, mixing it up a little bit. I think it's going to be Szymanski because the camera's on him, but I didn't see what happened. So Szymanski tripped up Drew Hellison. Okay. Here we go. So they're going to commercials, and then they, the Ducks, that is, are going to get a power play. We'll see if they can get back in this game. If I'm going to be honest with you, it's been kind of boring. Been a kind of boring game, which is probably Chris Knobloch's like ultimate 10 out of 10 dream scenario. But this is boring. This is boring. Listen, hey guys, everybody in the chat, can we bring up something else other than Matthews trade chat? Austin Matthews is not getting traded this summer. Talk about something else. Mitchkoff isn't getting traded either. I see Mitchkoff's name. I see Byfield, Bailey Toulouse. If I'm ChatGPT and Rob Blake offered Byfield and Clark and a first for Matthews, I'm agreeing. Well, that's stupid. And no, you wouldn't. That would be a terrible trade. Guys, we need to change up this we need to change this up. Here's a more interesting one. If you're the Ottawa Senators, okay, what do you do to get your team to the next level? It can't be trade a superstar like Brady Tkachuk. I think the solution lies with Brady Tkachuk being a Senator. What do you do to get them into the second round next year? I think first off, playoff seeding is going to matter, right? You're going to need goaltending. They didn't have goaltending all year, most of the year. Terrible goaltending. Do you need another game breaker? Is anybody in the league frustrated with one of their star players and you can take advantage? You know what I mean? Senators have the assets. They have the cap space. Senators could be dangerous this offseason. Never underestimate an angry team that is better than what the record shows. And I think the Senators still are. The Canes are obviously much better than their record shows, and they were the number one team in the East. They're just unbelievable. But I thought when Ottawa got super physical in Game 4 that it did not benefit the Canes, and I would be very curious to know, whoever plays them next, be very curious to know if they try to be more physical with the Carolina Hurricanes. That's, I think, the way that you can beat them. We've seen it with Florida. McTavish bringing the puck in. This is a Ducks power play. First one yielded some shots and some chances, but no goals so far. Ducks power play has been pretty strong in this series. But with Dickinson back for the Oilers, you got to think that's a nice ace in the hole. And he looks active tonight. Assisted on the first goal to Kapanen and is out there right now winning some key faceoffs for them. Granlund. Down low to Seneca. Back to Granlund. Killorn is out front. He's got Mason McTavish open. Tried to find Seneca. And the puck is cleared, but Jackson Lacombe is at least able to get his stick on it. McTavish. Across the red line. Across the blue line. McTavish not making a play with that puck, almost gets stripped by Nuge, able to get it to Killorn on time. 54 seconds remain on this power play. Lacombe, fake winds. McTavish tried to find Killorn. Killorn back to Cutter Gauthier. Gauthier back to the point. It's Lacombe. Fake pass again. Sorry, fake shot again. Pass. Gauthier shot. Scored. What a goal by Cutter Gauthier. Top corner, baby. That was a vintage Cutter Gauthier top corner bomb. And the Ducks finally solve the Edmonton Oilers in this game. Tristan Jarry allows his first, and that was a tough one to stop. Cutter Gauthier saw it the whole way, and so did Jari. And that's just a goal scorer's goal, baby. Wow. The Ducks, I have to give them credit. They were patient. And Gauthier just picks a corner and rips it. Look at this. He goes, you know what? I'm not passing it. I'm just going to shoot. Wow. What a shot. Giggling Cat dropping 5 SDPN memberships because she really wants to see the Oilers go down. And she said, if you really want to put it in a blender, have the Sens pick up McDavid from free agency. That would be fun. McDavid and Brady Tkachuk on the same team. That would be fun. Oh, baby. By the way, if you were given a free membership by Giggling Cat, who is a Panthers fan and loves to see the Oilers lose, you are now given access to our VIP episodes. See, Steve Dangle Podcast puts out 4 episodes every week, but one of them is behind a paywall. Why? Well, because we do things a little differently on that show. And also, it helps support the business. So we'd like to give you bonus content. We'd like to give you emojis next to your name, and your name is now highlighted in green. So you get 30 days to test it out. If you like it and you like our VIP episodes, well, great. That's awesome. Consider continue on with your subscription. And in the meantime, you should also know that you can get every Steve Dangle podcast completely ad-free with the next tier, $6.99 a month, SDP VIP ad-free, and a shot by Minchikov. Nice little rebound, but none of the Ducks forwards are able to get there. Cantankerous Game says, as a Flyers fan, that goal hurts my soul. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Vael at the center ice line. Dumps it in. Ducks fans are alive now. Finally, they've been quiet for the first part of this game ever since Kapanen put that first goal in 38 seconds into the game. The Moose says, Cats fan hate watchers unite. Man, that's just a great goal by Cutter Gauthier. I'm not even mad at Jari for that one. That's just a great goal. Giggling Cat, do things differently is a funny way to say chaos ensues, but sure. Yeah. VIP episodes are chaotic. They are. 11-11 left in the second period. Everybody make a wish. Oh, Leon Draisaitl's got an angle here to Seneca. Oh, past Seneca, excuse me, not to Seneca. He didn't pass it to Seneca. That would be bad. Great save by Dostal. Great save. Leon looking very, very strong on that, using his buddy. Draisaitl in the corner with the puck again. Wallman at the point. Back down to Draisaitl. Oilers acting like they're on a power play here. It's 5-on-5. This second line is dangerous. Already with a goal in this game. Back down, it's Roslovic who had that shot on Dostal earlier off the stick of Leon Draisaitl. And that puck is cleared by Killorn. Is it far enough for an icing? Icing is waved off, and it's going to be... No. Oh, it should have been waved off. Oilers got lucky on that one. They'll take it. But Seneca basically tried to... I don't know what John Carlson's doing there, but he should have absolutely picked up Jack Roslovic. Got lucky. Giggling Cat says, chat, what are we going for here? Oilers, Ducks, or a petty watch? How many people are hate watching the Oilers right now? How many Oilers fans here versus Oilers hate watchers? I got to know. Puck won by the Oilers. 10-14 left in the second period. Oilers in the Duck zone. It's Bouchard to Ekholm. Puck drifts over his stick. Dumps it low. McDavid behind the net. Back out to Bouchard. Bouchard to McDavid. Nuge at the side of the net. Bouchard to Ekholm. So McDavid out there with Savoy and Nugent Hopkins. No Zach Hyman on this shift. Killorn tries to get this puck clear. He can't. Savoy still got it. Great offensive zone pressure by the Oilers here. And it's the McDavid line. That's definitely not what you want. Ducks players, you got to think their legs are burning at this point. Another shift. 5-on-5. If this is 2.5 minutes in some cases, Minchikov has had a 2.5-minute shift. The legs are burning. They're just trying to get the puck out, and they can't. McDavid gets it again. This time to Ekholm. And that puck is directed wide, and the Oilers continue to keep it in. Bouchard holds the line. Carlson's finally going to get this. And it's John Carlson flipping it to center. Seneca gets it. Shot! And Jari with a huge save. Just Jimmy said, I became a member and I love it. Love the show. Love the content. Listening to guys at work every day. I'm a Bolts fan living in Colorado. So I'm living good right now. Good for you, Jimmy. Thank you so much for listening, brother. We appreciate you. And thank you for the super chat. Love hearing that. Yeri Pessinen. Excuse me, Yeri. Visible outer ear hairs help trap dust and protect your inner ear canal. Meanwhile, tiny hair cells inside your inner ear are vital for hearing. Well, I'm getting the visible outer ear hairs. So you guys, can you see them? I don't know where the heck they came from, but all of a sudden I turned 35 and they started coming in. Didn't like it very much. Alex Mercer, Adam, what are your thoughts on the fans breaking the ice or the glass at Kings Avs game? It just seems like they had some faulty glass there. It's not easy to break that plexiglass, slapping your hands against it. Dolan says, Adam, the Sens need an elite right shot D-man who can shut people down. How about Brandon Carlo for a 2026 first round pick? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Jay Hector, extremely doubtful that Tuck leaves Buffalo. I don't think Alex Tuck's leaving Buffalo either. I think they're just saving the negotiation for after. No chance. No chance. Why would you leave Buffalo now? Alex Tuck is also from Western New York. I'm pretty sure he grew up a Sabres fan. You're definitely not leaving. First time they're good in your entire career, you're not going to leave. You put in too many years there. All right. So we're waiting on the game to get started here. We got Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque on camera, both looking sharp. Good suits. Some good suits here. I haven't yet, but we're going to get on here. So fourth line for the Oilers out. Third line for the Ducks out. It's Paling. Wins the faceoff draw. Hines. Oh, no. They're going to blow this faceoff dead because they suck. Hey, good opportunity to tell you that we have a Buffalo Sabres sweater. Beautiful Buffalo Sabres sweater up for grabs for you right now. Link is in the description. Click the link. Fill in your name. All of Canada, excluding Quebec. Sorry, United States, you don't count either. Not that we don't love you, but the tariffs are really affecting our ability to get you some prizing. So if there's any reason not to like the tariffs, it's that one. Bring back the de minimis and free trade, and then we will start giving you prizes again. Ducks ice the puck. Back down to the Duck zone go the Oilers. .846 left in this second period. Oh, it was the Oilers that iced it. Jeez. I got to get my double espresso in here at the second intermission. Forechecking for the Ducks have been a real problem this game. They did score on the power play. They're back in the game, but they need to get some 5-on-5 chances going if they're going to have a hope in hell against this Oilers team. This team is too old and too experienced. Dickinson loses his stick along the board. Trouba to Lacombe. Paling, shot. Or sorry, that's not Paling, that's Kreider. I saw a 2 and I thought Paling. It's 2-0, not 2-5. Lazar clears the puck out. Both teams changing, and it's Trouba. Collecting. Waiting for the Ducks to get on the ice. Kreider's able to tip that one in as Trouba fired it down the ice. Now Trouba, Kreider, and the defense pairings are going to change. Carlson and Minchikov out there. For the Oilers, it's that second line again. We got to have to come up with a nickname for these guys. Oh, shot by Carlson and a good save by Tristan Jarry. Good setup by Terry, and Terry's getting into it right now. He's pissed. And, of course, Sportsnet does not put the camera on the people that are fighting with each other. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why we're showing the goalie's head when we could be looking at that. But, hey, it's just me. So it's Wallman and Terry that got into it. And they just kind of wrestled a little bit. We could have seen that live. Boy. Tristan Jarry, dare I say, looks good? Looks good? With a question mark? There's always an asterisk. There's always a bit of, he looks good for now. Oh, Gauthier almost got a trip there, but I think he's okay. Ducks handling the puck, so there's no penalty. Kapanen with the interception. And he gets the puck out. Oilers with Draisaitl firing that puck in. They got to be due for a change here soon, but this second line for the Oilers, you have got to watch out for them. Podkolzin and Kapanen in the corner. Pass to Bouchard makes him back off, and both teams are going to change. And Ducks fans are booing Bouchard as his team gets set up. They don't like the wasted time in Southern California. They want you getting going. Let's go. Hyman holding the puck behind the net now. Oilers just frustrating the Ducks. Just doing little things here and there. Holding the puck with their sticks or their skates along the boards. In comes Granlund. Just interrupting any sort of off. Look at that, too. Granlund carried the puck in. The Oilers stayed on him the whole time. Forced him to make a bad pass, and out they go again. 6:23 left in this second. Producer Hayden sucking back an extra large Tim Hortons iced coffee tonight to stay awake. Make sure he's fired up. Make sure he's killing it in the chat with you guys. Bouchard. Producer Hayden saying that his iced coffee is gone. So that must mean he's fired up. Oh, that could have been a too many men, but here we go. Jackson Lacombe breaking in. Nurse. Oh, and this puck somehow stayed out. Darnell Nurse was able to muscle Jackson Lacombe off the last second. Oh, and the Ducks had a beautiful opportunity, but one of the forwards fires it completely wide. And then that Dostal fires the puck up to nobody in particular, not an advisable play. Vael just gave the puck away too. .5:16 left in this second period. Oilers still doing a great job on defense. Really, really good. Stingy. Pain in the ass. Not something you normally associate with the Oilers on defense, but they can do it. I've seen them do it. This isn't the only playoff they've done it. Sometimes it takes a team a few games to lock in. The Oilers look good tonight. Ducks are trying. They haven't given up. They're pushing. It's frustrating. They're only a goal down, but boy, they have not got the shots on Jarry I think they want to. That 22-shot counter that they have, I think it's a bit of a misnomer. Does not indicate the quality of shots they've had, which are just not there yet. Carlson dumps the puck in. Held up by McTavish at the line. Oh, McTavish almost got a tripping penalty in the offensive zone. No call there. Carlson grabs it. Kapanen able to knock the puck off him. Carlson regroups, but he's got Draisaitl all over him. Leaves it for John Carlson. Carlson to Hines. To Troy Terry, who tips it in deep in the Oilers zone. Oh, and Carlson crushes Connor Murphy, but looks like he might have got the worst of it. Slow to get up. Cutter Gauthier. And there's Granlund with Terry and Gauthier. Granlund. Puck behind the net to Terry. Terry gets the puck stripped by Bouchard, who gets it to Kapanen. Kapanen to Draisaitl. Here they come, 3-on-2. Kapanen, Podkolzin, Draisaitl. Granlund tips that puck to center. .319 left in the second period. Ducks trying to get something going. Something. They got a goal back. Something. Here we go. This might be an opportunity right here. Nope. Oh, maybe. Killorn into Seneca. Bouchard played that perfectly. Interrupted the play as oh, that's a bad hit by Zach Hyman. He's going to the box for that, for sure. That looked like a knee on knee. I don't think he meant it intentionally, but I do think that's a rough one. And the Ducks are going to go back to the power play where they're already 1 for 2. I think this is a good call. I don't think Hyman and Draisaitl are happy about it, but I think it's a good call. Yeah, that is all day. Hyman would be lucky not to get a major on that. That's a knee. That's a knee on knee. That's not Louis. Louis DeBrusk just called it a little knee contact. That's not a little knee contact. That's a really, really bad hit. That's not a little knee. And I know it's the Canadian broadcast, and we ought to favor the Oilers, and I get that. That ain't little. That's big. That's a bad hit, straight up. Coming into this game, by the way, Beckett Seneca is second on the Ducks in hits. He's low-key a pain in the ass, and he scores a lot of goals, and he's huge. He's so tall. Beckett Seneca is a guy to watch. Pixel Plus says, funny how the Ducks keep getting calls, but the Oilers don't. You know what? Listen, the Zach Hyman knee thing, they can't not call that. The trips and stuff, what I'm seeing, and I agree with you, I think there could have been a couple of Ducks penalties in there. I think what's happening is you're starting to see the playoff whistle, which means when I say starting to see the playoff whistle, it means you're starting not to see it. They're going to put the whistles away. We're getting into Game 4, Game 5 territory here, guys. It's going to start to bring down the amount of power plays that they have. They're just going to put the whistles away and let the guys play. And Edmonton is struggling with the Ducks power play. There's just no two ways about it. For the first 3 games, the Ducks have been lethal on the power play and already have a power play goal tonight. So the Ducks were at 50% on the power play heading into this game. 5-0. 48%. Okay, fine. 4-4-8. So 50, yeah, exact 50%. Okay. Well, I don't know why Hyman's arguing this. Like, this is straight up a knee on knee. Like, buddy, you stuck your knee out. There's no other way to look at it. It's not egregious in the sense that, like, Radko Gudas was egregious. He was trying to take Matthews' knee out. No matter what Radko Gudas tells you off the ice about, I didn't mean to or whatever, I've got to learn. Bullshit. He wanted that. He got it. I don't think Hyman meant it. But it's a knee on knee all day, and he's lucky he's only got 2 minutes. Let's just put it that way. McTavish to Killorn. That Killorn shot was deflected wide. McTavish down low. Seneca fighting with Murphy and Nurse. Lacombe to Gauthier, who was the goal scorer earlier. Absolute rip past Tristan Jarry. Seneca lucky there. Oh, man, he used his stick a little bit. Got to be careful. But the refs seem to be letting the stick stuff go away a little bit here. I think we're starting to see the playoff whistle more and more. Watch out for that, guys. Lacombe to McTavish. McTavish tried to get that off the body of Seneca, but it went the wrong way. Lacombe, and I think McTavish's stick broke. And Dickens is able to clear. McTavish tried to make a pass. He fanned on it. Seneca stays patient. No shot. Shot by Gauthier. And a big save by Tristan Jarry. The release of Cutter Gauthier. You've got to watch out for that. You got to watch out for that. First unit for the Ducks now coming out. Hayden just asked me who gets more games, Hyman or Grigg. I don't think Hyman gets anything. Grigg is going to get 3 games probably. The one thing tough guys like fighters hate, they hate a guy doing what Ridley Grigg did. They hate it. That sucker punch was bullshit. Everybody knows it. And that offends the old guy code. Maybe he gets 5, but I doubt it. I think it's going to be a 3-game suspension, maybe 2. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But it is a phone hearing, so it's not going to be any more than 5. Terry carries it through the neutral zone. Kreider back to Carlson. That's John Carlson at the point. Leo Carlson with the puck now. It scores! Leo Carlson sets up Michael Granlund. What a goal. And the Ducks have tied this game with 1:17 left in the second period. 2 goals for the Oilers in the first, 2 goals for the Ducks in the second. They just kept chipping away. 5-on-5, the Oilers have had the Ducks number all game, but 5-on-4, the Ducks have had the Oilers number all series. That brings them, I believe, to 5 for 11 on power plays in this series. And Giggling Cat dropping 5 SDPN memberships for that power play goal. Wes Richard, Daddy Wes, dropping 10 SDPN memberships. Let's go, everybody. The game is awake. We're alive. It's 6 for 11, by the way. The Ducks are over 50% on the power play. Washi and Draisaitl kicked out of the circle, so it's going to be Vael and Podkolzin. Vael wins the faceoff draw. Giggling Cat just dropped another $2 just because. And it drops a smiling quack. Oh, baby. This is you can hear the crowd. They're right back in it now. Shout out to everybody that just dropped memberships in the chat. Make sure you thank the person that gave you the membership. If you now have a green name, you're now an SDP VIP member. Congratulations for the next 30 days. And you could obviously stay that way if you sign up and renew your subscription. So we'd love for you to do that too. But check it out. See if you like it. See how it goes. Oh, that's a really good point. The Vieg says, Pens legend Granlund scores on Pens legend Jari. That's good. Alex says, that's the best $7 million the Ducks have spent in a while. That was a great signing. He was great for Dallas in the playoffs last year, man. He's a great player. Lindsay says, I'm just here for the vibes. Well, welcome, Lindsay. We're happy to have you here. 45 seconds to go in this period. Ducks coming in. It's a 4-on-2. Trouba to Vael. Bouchard on Vael. McDavid tries to strip. 32 seconds to go. Oilers with the puck. They got the big boys out there. Lacombe slaps the puck away from Draisaitl. Puck thrown deep. Trouba is able to clear that out. Oh, almost a too many men as the Oilers were trying to change. In come the Ducks. Oilers could not touch it. Seneca. 10 seconds to go. Seneca. Roslovic was all over him. 4 seconds to go. And this period is going to end in a 2-all tie. A great end to the period by the Anaheim Ducks. Tough to get things going 5-on-5. And there's a little bit of a scrum here. But boy, did they take advantage on the power play. They look good. They look real good. Now, a reminder to you, because I know you probably forgot watching the hockey game. You now got like 15 minutes to enter your name for that Buffalo Sabres hoodie. We're giving that away tonight. I'm going to do the draw at the end of the second intermission with Hayden, and we are going to say the name pretty early in the third period, maybe in the first commercial break. So get on that, get signed up, make sure you're in. Excludes Quebec and the United States. All right? All right? All right. Man, good Sunday night tilt. It's the thing. I said to you at the beginning of the second period, no 2-goal lead has survived in this unless it was the winning 2-goal lead. And that 2-goal lead evaporated. With this series, no lead is safe ever. No lead safe ever for any reason. Make sure that you're tuned in the entire time. It's just such a great series. Now, Hayden, what are we running for a clip here? Oh, I like that. How long is it? Okay, we're going to hang on for just a little bit here. So just a reminder, get in for that Buffalo Sabres hoodie. Here's what I'm going to ask you right now. Who scores the next goal in this game? Third period, who scores the next goal in this game? Just give me one name. We'll know what team it's on. Who scores the next goal? Who comes out on fire, scores the next goal? Or does the team come out on fire, not score? Maybe they come out on fire and they get scored against. That can happen too. Hit me up. I want to know. Give it to me. Ian Ball says it's smoke break time. Okay, we got a couple of McDavids. We got a Cutter. We got a Draisaitl. We got a Terry. We got a Beckett Seneca. Tristan Jari. You think he scores it or lets it in? Demon Hunter Mog says, as an American, damn you tariffs, I want to win. But really, though, I know. Tell them to get the de minimis thing back, too. That was a big deal. Rene says nobody. Rene thinks we're going to overtime. McNasty, no, Trevor Zegras is not playing in this game, so he can't get it. Hyman, Denver legend Troy Terry. Okay, very, very interesting. All right, so for my Formula One friends, friends and fans, check out our show, Nailing the Apex. We do this every single week. Miami Grand Prix is on the schedule, and we got a clip for you right now. I will see you all here at the beginning of the third period. And reminder, get your name in for that Buffalo Sabres sweater. Do it now. Play the clip, Hayden. It's a jovial group today as we record with Nelson Valkenburg from Viaplay in the Netherlands. And, of course, Tim Hraney, former race car driver, TSN analyst. How else can I make you guys seem extremely huge and towering figures of industry?
Dutch.
What other great things can I say?
Voice of Dutch motorsports.
Voice of Dutch. Ooh, I love that. Tim, what about you? How do we add to your resume, make you look bigger than life?
It's just me, man.
Canada's next prime minister.
That's right. Absolutely. Watch out, Mark Carney.
I don't think I could beat him. I don't think so, boys. Don't have the resume.
There's only like a little bit of time here before we get into the Miami Grand Prix, which is so nice. You know, we've been starved. It's a couple of weeks away. We're almost there. But I want to ask you guys about something that Nelson mentioned on the show a couple of weeks ago. That's my tease. There's like something that Nelson sort of sprinkled in that became news this week. So that's my tease. That's our second topic. The first thing we will talk about, though, is something that is definitive news, been rumored for a long time. The Turkish Grand Prix is coming back. First off, Tim, I'll start with you. Is there anybody more excited than Lance Stroll?
Yeah, probably all the drivers, I think, are just as excited. I think like everybody in Formula One is pretty excited. I've never been to the track. I've heard great things about it. Played it on the sim. It's an amazing circuit. It just for racing in general, for the drivers in general. There's a lot of very technical, high speed, challenging sections that in the sim feel absolutely like amazing, and I could only imagine what that's like in an F1 car. So I think as a whole, there seems to be a lot of positivity around it. I mean, I talked to a lot of the teams and team personnel, and everybody seems to be very excited to be going back to having a chance at getting back onto this circuit and putting on a Grand Prix in Turkey. Everyone seems to be pretty pumped. But I don't know, Nelson, have you been to the Turkish Grand Prix?
No, I've not. I've been there for a sports car race, and it's an awesome venue. It's one of those racetracks, and you don't get that too often. It's very new, it's very modern, but it feels proper. It's purpose-built for motorsports, not a street track, but it's also not just filled with 180-degree corners or 90-degree corners. It is proper, and I really get why the drivers are stoked to go there, because it's just one of those gems that belongs on the F1 calendar. So really good going from F1 and the Turkish government on this.
Now, how does this fit into the calendar? Because this is something we were discussing off the air, but I think it's important we get this in. People are going, okay, we've got Portimao coming in. We know Spa is coming in intermittently. Where does this all fit?
Yeah, so we're losing Zandvoort from next year onwards. This year's the last Dutch Grand Prix. Portimao has already been announced as the Portuguese Grand Prix for 2 years. So that spot is automatically filled up. But Barcelona and the Belgian Grand Prix, Spa-Francorchamps, are going to be alternating. And that creates a space for the Turkish Grand Prix in effect. So we still have 24 races. But quite an interesting calendar. And with this alternating of Grand Prix, they're going to do it with more tracks, I believe. It gives them flexibility in case of, let's just say, world events. Because then a basic organization is in place in more spots to easily amend the calendar. But so that's what's going to happen. Portimao, also another one of those great tracks. I don't know about overtaking, but a qualifying lap there is amazing. And really, really interesting to see how the new F1 cars do on a track like Istanbul Park.
It's I think it's obviously we've spoken about it before, like many times, but I think it's probably good that there is another race that is in place in case who knows what happens next in the world. Like, I think it's a smart move by Formula One, and actually it's something that, you know, F1 has been signaling for, you know, quite some time, and something they've always been saying is the fact that they have other venues that are literally lined up to try and get onto the F1 calendar itself. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Thailand coming on board, potential street race there, maybe something in Africa as well. And I think they're obviously not the only ones. I mean, there are other places within the world that could probably host more than just one Grand Prix. And I think for F1 to nail down a really great track circuit in Turkey, and then also having with Portimao coming back is amazing. I mean, that I remember when F1 went there during COVID, and just the qualifying lap there was just looked absolutely incredible. And again, playing that one on the sim as well, just an amazing circuit. So I think when we look at the tracks as a whole on next year's calendar, feels like there's a lot more drivers circuits and actual proper race tracks, and we're not moving more towards street circuits and city street circuits and things of that nature. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just had a feeling that we were moving a little too far into that direction, and I'm glad we're starting to come back to, you know, proper racetrack.
I think that fear has been shared many times, I think, with the American races and that sort of thing. I think there's a lot of people who feel that there's too many street circuits. I wonder, guys, like let's not dance around the subject. The reason we haven't had any races in April is because there's been a war in the Middle East. You could call it a military action. You can call it a whatever you want. It's a war. People are killing each other. It's not safe for the drivers to be there. And you know, with instability in the world, which is basically the only constant you can count on, Formula One's ability to be flexible has been very interesting. I think, you know, speaking specifically about half a decade ago when they canceled a bunch of races and only certain countries allowed Formula One races and there was no fans in the crowd, you know, you saw the reemergence of Imola. And, you know, they've obviously moved away from that again, but it's one of those where, you know, what are the tracks they could substitute in? Because to me, it doesn't make a ton of sense next year if we find ourselves in a similar position and there's instability in a certain part of the world. Is there any way that Formula One could be ready and throw an extra race in? So, like, let's say this exact thing happens again next year.
Depends on the timing, huh? Depends on the timing, because this year it was just you cannot organize a race within 2 weeks. And that's just you cannot do it. You don't have the volunteers. You don't have the marshals. Nothing is in place to do it. Also, it was basically in beginning of April. So where in this case in Europe could you race? And coming from Melbourne, it is just impossible to go to Europe on short notice and get all the stuff there. So this is why I believe F1 is well served by potentially looking at expanding in China for a second race, at least a second certified track, because you could make it work really easily then if you need to. And we'll come on to it later, but I believe the Chinese footprint will grow. So a second race there seems logical. It is very difficult to expand to street tracks and to drop a street track in a calendar. Just, let's do it. You need months of preparation. So that's why they did go to Portimao and Imola back when we had the COVID pandemic. And this is why they are definitely looking at some, a little bit of redundancy here and there. And having a track like Barcelona up your sleeve in a season that Spa's on the calendar doesn't hurt. So, it's a smart move, but I would look at perhaps a second grade, FIA grade A track in China for certain.
I think F1's been really smart in terms of having different levers that they can sort of pull on to bring in other races. It's like Nelson had said when it comes to timing of things, and I'll be interested to see what next year's calendar looks like and where there is spaces for something to be put in place if they need to do that. And I think when we look at a great track like in Zandvoort being off the calendar, is that something that could come back onto the calendar if need be? And it probably is, right? And same
I know
with,
for a fact that Zandvoort has basically a play-by-play ready in case F1 needs them.
Yeah, and same with like the Barcelona, like, right, going back to the Circuit de Catalunya, like that is also something, again, another lever that F1 could pull on if they needed to. So when you look at next year's calendar, one of the things I think that people should pay attention to is where are the extra spaces that are available? What is realistic that could go into there? Because having a permanent grade A F1 track that's ready to go is something that they do have that is available within the season of F1, but it does have to be a little bit later in the season when we get out of the likes of April and even some places even May, right? So
right.
Yeah, and it depending on where you have an issue, say it's the Middle East, like we have this year, you can't just go from Melbourne and then, like I said, go to Europe. So you need different contingency plans for different parts of the season. But that's just, I think that's just the nature of organizing sports in this day and age. And it's not just motorsports. It's tennis, it's football, it's everything. Everybody's just working with moving parts, it seems like, and different goals. And you have to be flexible. And F1 is trying to be flexible, so that's good. Incidentally, it right now doesn't look like Bahrain and Jeddah are going to be replaced. Up till yesterday, I really thought we might be heading into a quadruple. But I had some sources telling me that it's not an easy done deal to slot Jeddah in at the end of the year. I would imagine the Saudis really want it, but let's wait and see. But the teams are probably resisting doing 4 in a row if those 4 are Vegas, Qatar, Jeddah, and Abu Dhabi in a row.
That would be pretty
brutal.
That'd be pretty hard. Like even when we're with everyone in Las Vegas and then all of a sudden they've got to go from Vegas to Qatar, like that's a huge time jump. It's a huge jump for everybody. And again, like it's not like it's not like they're taking a couple weeks off before they have to go, right? They're literally jumping on a plane the very next day at the end of the Vegas Grand Prix and heading over to Qatar to get ready for that
That
race
turnover
weekend.
is just brutal. Vegas to Qatar, time-wise, flight-wise, weather-wise, everything is just... And at the point of the season that everybody's at their breaking point, all those mechanics, that is the one that I would just change if I could make a calendar, because it just doesn't make sense for the teams.
All right, we're back and we're ready. The broadcast hasn't quite caught this thing, but we are going to get back to the game in just a second here. They're showing Zach Hyman. I'm sure they're going to go to commercial for the 80th time, this intermission, and then we'll get back into the game. In the meantime, I do want to remind you that we give away things every single stream throughout the playoffs. So we've got Steve Dangle, we've got Jesse Blake, we've got myself. I will announce the winner of the sweater beginning in the third period. Not quite there yet. Now, I am curious about who we think scores. Do we think, like, we got a lot of McDavid, we got a lot of Seneca, we got some Draisaitl. I was surprised not to see a lot of people say Leo Carlsson. I feel like people are sleeping on Leo Carlsson. Leo Carlsson's dangerous. What about like Granlund scored earlier? What about him? What about Chris Kreider? I don't think he's got a goal in this series. Chris Kreider used to be a playoff demon. Used to be unstoppable. Kind of wonder. Hayden says, what about Nuge? Man, Nuge has had some big moments in the playoffs. Nuge is a good call. Mr. Reliable. May not be the flashiest first overall pick of all time, but if you like, let's look at Ryan Nugent-Hopkins stats for a second. Ryan Nugent. Hayden says he kind of reminds me of Marlowe, always steady. Listen, if you could know a player's total stats when you draft them. So for instance, if I told you in 2010 or 2011 when he was drafted first overall, Okay? He was with the Red Deer Rebels when Nugent Hopkins was drafted first overall in 2010 or 2011, excuse me. Hey man, this guy 15 years into his career is going to have 800 points. I think you picked that player. Maybe he's not Connor McDavid, but Connor McDavid's kind of special, right? 800 points, you pick that player. All day. All day. Like, let's look at Jack Eichel, too. Jack Eichel's an interesting one. Just total points, because Jack Eichel's been in the league a long, long time now. Do you guys remember the Buffalo general manager when they lost to the Oilers in that drop? Remember, it was Buffalo, Toronto, and Edmonton that were going to get McDavid. And the Toronto ball missed by just a little bit, allowing the Edmonton ball to pop up. Do you remember Tim Murray, who was the Buffalo Sabres general manager at that time? Do you remember the look on his face when he was, I'm only going to get Jack Eichel? Jack Eichel, in 690 career games, has 698 points. If that's all he ever got, you'd take that. You would totally take that. Hayden says the chasm between him and McDavid in points is wild. Well, listen, here's where I'm going to give Eichel a pass. First off, he's not Connor McDavid. And he never was. Connor McDavid has 1,200 points. Eichel's got close to 700. That's fucking crazy. But a reminder that Jack Eichel missed a ton of time because of that neck injury and also played for the horrible Buffalo Sabres. There was some major injuries. McDavid also did play on the awful Edmonton Oilers. That is a good point. But Eichel, I think, was in a worse situation. The Oilers at least made the playoffs in the first couple of years and made it to the second round with McDavid there. And Eichel, who was Eichel's Draisaitl? Never had one. I mean, there were guys like Hagel and Reinhart and all those guys that were there that the Sabres gave up on way too early. And we're underway, by the way, 30 seconds into this period. This is a tale of two periods. Seneca with a shot. Good save by Jari. 2 goals by the Oilers in the first period. 2 goals by the Ducks in the second period. It all comes down to this. 19 minutes to go. Bad giveaway at center ice here. Roslovic with a shot. Big save by Dostal. He thought he had the puck squeezed between his legs. He did not. And I believe it was Jason Dickinson roaring in to get that rebound. And Dostal made just a last-second toe save. Off to a good start. Off to a damn good start. Let's go. Bring the excitement. Tell everybody in your life to get on this stream. If they're awake, they should be here with us. And we're going to have an interference call on Wallman. Oh, no. Oh, no, that was stupid. Why did he do that? Why did Gauthier do that? He could have put the Ducks on the power play. They've been lethal. Why would Gauthier do that? He's pissed. Still, though. It was a bad play by Wallman, let's be honest. So they haven't shown the damn thing yet on the broadcast that we'd really like them to. Yeah, Dickinson almost scored there. And then, so it's Wallman. Oh my God. Okay, I get why Gauthier stuck up for him. Wallman just crushes Leo Carlsson for no reason. Yep. I hope Carlson's okay. Wallman does get the interference call. And the Ducks, wow. Gauthier's not going to the box. Okay. Whoa, he got away with one there. I get standing up for your guy. I totally do. Grab him. Do not cross-check him. Grab him. Do the Kachuk thing. Just give him the thing. Demon Hunter, Jack Eichel also has a cup. That's true. That is a true stat. Also a gold medal. He also has a gold medal. Ow, that hurt. Oh. Ducks get set up on the power play here. Gauthier to Lacombe. McTavish back to Lacombe at the point. Back to McTavish. looking for somebody, looking for Gauthier. Shot, Killorn! And Jari made a great save there. McTavish looking, shot. Jari makes the save, and it goes into the crowd. And you can hear that California crowd. They are screaming for this. Ducks look real good. Jari with a great save with his glove. Killorn almost put one home. And look at Seneca in front of the net, just causing issues. Remember, Beckett Seneca was playing in the OHL last year. They're definitely trying to find Jari high. That's how Gauthier scored in the second period, and Killorn almost scored there. Same thing. Jari gets down early. You got to shoot high. Terry along the boards. Back to John Carlson. John Carlson, fans on that. And we're going to have a 2-on-1 here. Dickinson and Dickinson and Kapanen, excuse me. Great read. Great save by Dostal. And here come the Ducks. Granlund, shot. Good save by Jari. Carlson to Carlson. That's Leo to John, or John to Leo. And the puck squirts out again. 40 seconds remain on this power play. It's been an exciting one. Whew. It's spicy out there. Leo Carlson through center. Leo Carlson gains the zone, and he's going to be offside as he loses the puck at the blue line and looks sky high because he's frustrated. Holy smoly. Holy smoly. I just made that up. I meant holy smokes. Dickinson has looked real good for the Oilers tonight. For a guy that missed all the last game injured. Boy, I'm just not speaking correctly. Boy, does he look good. Second unit back out for the Ducks. It's Killorn. It's McTavish. Szymanski taking the face-off draw. And it's going to be Granlund now that's going to take it because McTavish was kicked out. Ducks end up with possession. McTavish carries it in, loses it immediately at the blue line. And Szymanski had an opportunity. Now Ducks have turned it around. 3-on-2 here. Killorn gets the puck back to McTavish. McTavish to the point to Lacombe. Lacombe to Seneca. Seneca moves the puck in. Szymanski. Oh, and I think the Ducks are going to the box finally here, and I think it's going to be McTavish for a hook, and he does not like this. And that negates the power play. Actually, the power play had expired. So it's McTavish who just gets his stick high here. Watch what happens. Just gets it in on those gloves, and it's a tiny little. And you know what? The Ducks have gotten away with a couple of this period or last period. Yeah, that's a penalty every single time. Heather, the Avs fan, stepdad just got me. I said it kind of broke me when Tom Hanks teared up for Kopi. His response, there's no crying in baseball. This hockey! Oh my goodness, Evan Bouchard off the faceoff. The Oilers scored only their second power play goal of the series, and they are up 3-2. And as McTavish looks on from the penalty box, and look at that, Rogers Arena back in Edmonton, filled with Oilers fans, and they're loving it. Natalie Drake, do you think Edmonton might be a fit for Stollers? No, they can't afford him. They've already got $5 million signed up with Jari. And let's be honest here, nobody's taking that Stollers contract. Nobody. 0 teams will take that. Nobody wants that. Look at that goal. Oh, McTavish feels like shit in the box. 5 seconds into the power play. That was crazy. Crazy shot. Again, Bouchard and McDavid, it was only a matter of time before they scored, and they both have in consecutive games. Now the Ducks, who had the power play, have got to find a way to tie this game up. No lead is safe in this series. Listen, I know no lead is safe in the National Hockey League. In this series in particular, no lead is safe. Oh, Paling loses the puck in his skates. Oilers coming out. It's Frederick. He's got Lazar with him. Not exactly the bona fide superstar list you're used to on a rush chance for the Oilers, but hey. Oh! Puck just went by Dostal and Lazar. Had he got a stick on it, that goes in. Seneca against 4 different Edmonton Oilers. He didn't stand much of a chance on that, let's be honest. John Carlson. Puck past the blue line. Back into the Duck zone. Minchikov's going to retrieve. Carries it behind Dostal. Gives it to John Carlson. Carlson, cross ice pass, a bit sloppy. And that puck is broken up by Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers. And back comes this second line. Oilers score, and then they immediately put out the fourth line and now the second line. Then the second line is the dangerous one. Terry in on Connor Murphy, trying to get that puck free. Trouba keeps it in, shoots it in, and it is blocked and fired out of the zone. Granlund to Lacombe. Lacombe fires. A bit of a dump and chase here for the Ducks. Try to get a forecheck going of some sort. Oh, we got a steal. It's Troy Terry. Back to the point. Minchikov. Minchikov gets it deep. Cutter Gauthier cuts off Darnell Nurse. But it's Podkolzin that ends up with the puck. Jari Pesonen says, Kasperi Kapanen will be a free agent this summer. He should come back to the Leafs. I think he's staying in Edmonton. He's found a happy place. You got to stay there. Washi. Shot. Oh, there's a rebound out front. Jari left a juicy rebound off the glove. Really sloppy goaltending from Jari there. He gets away with it. He got away with that one. You can't do that against the Ducks. Hell, you can't do that against the Oilers. Dickinson behind the net has had a great night. Wallman from the point. That puck is blocked by Vael. Vael to Hines. Hines carries. Seneca sort of drops it in, and man, the Oilers going back to their suffocating neutral zone game. We saw it in a couple of periods in game 1. We haven't seen it for a couple of games. Period 1 of this game, we absolutely saw it, and good parts of period 2 as well. 5-on-5, the Oilers have been spectacular tonight. Just a couple power play goals by the Ducks are the reason they're still in it. Ooh, turnaround shot, and it was deflected, and the Ducks iced the puck. Not a lot of answers from the Anaheim Ducks on defensive zone breakouts for them, and this is going to be huge. Wow. They're just showing that Jari rebound again. Listen, I know that puck came in quick, but you're a goaltender in the NHL. You got to get a glove on that. Hayden says, if Edmonton wins, we are guaranteed a 1 p.m. stream on Thursday. 1 p.m.? Really? Oh, 6 and 7 are 1 p.m. games. That's bizarre. Especially considering that'd be like a 10 a.m. start on the West Coast. Really? Really? Bizarre. Okay. All right. That is really? They got it listed at 1 p.m. Game 6 and 7? That is wild. So if this game goes to 6 or 7 games, and if we get a win tonight from the Oilers, it will go to at least 6. We'll see a Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Bizarre. Is there a holiday in the States this Thursday? Are we sure? We're sure about this. Anybody in the state? Oh, SLS says these might be just placeholder times. I can't imagine them running the Oilers in the morning. Like, I don't care what kind of basketball you have going on in the States. You have got to go, like, the word's getting out stateside about how great the hockey playoffs are. There's no way they're going to run a 10 a.m. game. There's no way. Okay, so it might be a placeholder game. We'll see. But that would be wild. Can you imagine? You're just waking up, going to work, and oh yeah, the Oilers are on. TJ has it, as says Sportsnet has it listed as TBD. We'll see. Don't quote us on that just yet. I think they can always change the times. That's nuts though. Hayden says he wouldn't mind a little afternoon action after all these, but that wouldn't be afternoon for the people who are in those markets. For Mountain Time, if it's a 1 o'clock start Mountain Time, that's 11 a.m. Edmonton time and 10 a.m. California time. That'd be wild. On a Thursday, I could see that on a Saturday. I could see that. I could see it on a Sunday. I cannot see that on a Thursday. I could even on a Friday, I could potentially see a 1 o'clock start. But that'd be crazy. All right, here we go. Paling and Draisaitl. Paling gets booted out. Paling gets booted out of the face-off circle. It's McTavish, who right now is wearing the horns as the guy that took the bad penalty that led to the Edmonton Oilers goal. And now Draisaitl is going to get kicked out because the ref refuses to drop the puck. Remember, everybody, in the playoffs, everybody's here to see the linesman. Drop the puck, man. Drop it. What are we doing here? Oh, my God. All of that just for the... Oh, jeez. I can't stand that stuff, man. That's linesman just being obnoxious. Drop the puck. Carlson dumps the puck low. And that puck went out. I don't know if that means, I guess it just comes out of the Oilers zone. Black coffee, extra mustard says, Adam, you got to pick one city, Denver or Toronto. I've never been to Denver. So I'm going to say Toronto. Nothing against Denver. I've just never been. I'd like to go. Here, it's beautiful. Trouba. Ducks win the face-off draw. They are out shooting the Oilers. The Oilers, I will say, are outplaying the Ducks. 5-on-5. But no lead is safe in this series. And it's only one goal. Can the Ducks get that one little break that they're looking for? Oilers have played really stingy defense all game. Only allowed 2 goals, and they both came on the power play. What a giveaway! The Oilers cleaned up their own mess there, but that was a terrible giveaway against the Ducks' second line. They got real lucky there. Back at Seneca. Lacombe got crushed, by the way, behind the play. Denise Campbell says no school work would be done in any class if it's a 1 o'clock game on Thursday. Yeah, no kidding. I don't think it will be. That just seems like a bad idea. Oilers just kind of playing around with it in the Duck zone right now. Trying to burn as much time as possible. Hyman, here's what he's going to do. He's going to get it against the boards, and then he's going to hold it with, bit of a giveaway there. Ducks got to be careful. Hines giving chase. Wallman behind the net. Giveaway created by the Ducks' fourth line. Washing carries the puck. He's got an Oiler on him. Puck up to center. And the Oilers immediately get the turnover. And look at that. It's some guy named Connor McDavid with a shot, and Lucas Dostal makes a good save. They're going a 5-hole a lot on Dostal today. I don't know if that's on purpose, but he's having to squeeze those legs together real fast. 10 minutes exactly left in the third period. I need to remind you that going into the 8-minute mark, each of the last 3 games, the Edmonton Oilers have trailed the Ducks. This will be, if we reach the 8-minute mark and they are still at 3-2, the first time the Oilers have led with 8 minutes to go. But the Oilers, of course, were able to come back. Shot! Big move off the rush by the Ducks. Tristan Jarry was good to that. Had they been able to get a rebound again, the Ducks would have been good. Oilers ice it, and we're going to have a face-off back in the Oilers zone, 9:31 left. Shots are 29-23 Anaheim. Ducks are starting to play with a little bit more desperation. You see you saw 5-on-5 at least in the first couple of periods. A lot of puck watching by the Ducks forwards, not as active as they were in Game 3. And I think they were probably stunned a little bit by how good the Oilers' defense have been. Have not given the Ducks much to work with. Chris Kreider was the guy, by the way, streaking in on Tristan Jarry. Tried to find him high. Jarry saw that. Face-off win by Leo Carlson. Trouba, shot in, and it's right on that Oilers logo for Tristan Jarry. And here we go to we're going to commercial break. 9:26 left in this game. Time, not the friend of the Ducks right now. Oh, we can finally announce the winner. How is this the first commercial break of the third? That means they're going to come back for like one shift. Oh, it was icing. Oh my God. So this is hilarious. When we come back to the game, guys, the first whistle that's non-icing, we'll go right back to commercial. This is going to be painful. Okay. Congratulations for the Buffalo Sabres hoodie that we're giving away. Big congratulations to Jessica Gentile. Jessica Gentile. I hope I'm pronouncing your name, or Jessica Gentle, but I think it's Gentile. Jessica, congratulations. You're the proud new owner of a Fanatics beautiful dark blue Buffalo Sabres sweater. I hope you're a Sabres fan. And if you're not, give it to the Sabres fan in your life that loves you the most, that deserves your love. You can use it as a Christmas gift. If Jessica is here, big congratulations to you. And a big reminder that every single game, not just my games, not just Steve Dangle games, and also Jesse Blake games, we're all giving stuff away all playoffs long from Fanatics. Big shout out to them. Thank you to them for hooking us up. We want you guys to tune in. And we want you to get rewarded for tuning in. So, congratulations. Jessica, are you in the chat still? Where's Jessica? Curtis says, I would have won, but I'm European. Well, you did win in many ways. You're European. Yeah, what are we giving away next game, Hayden? Oh, God. Okay, next game. How's this for going off track? We're giving away a Boston Bruins Stadium Series fleece. Boston Bruins Stadium Series. There you go. There you go. Get in. Get in on it, Jessica. Well, actually, Jessica, you already won. You don't need to get in on it. But I know there's Bruin fans in the chat. I know you'll be interested in it. If we got a Tuesday game at 9 a.m. Not actually. Rene said boo, but fleece? Fleece. Good steal by Podkolzin. Kapanen's got it at the other board. This is such a great line for not only offense, but wasting time. Podkolzin, Kapanen, Draisaitl. Oilers doing a great job of making the Ducks, forcing the Ducks to just throw the puck out of their zone and immediately give it back to them. Oilers are just masterful at it in this game. They haven't been able to keep it up sustained for entire games yet. They're doing a great job. $8:24 left, by the way. Hampa says I could use that fleece to burn it in front of my friends. Seneca shot. Oh, what a great save, Jarry, on Alex Killorn. Seneca had the shot in, and that just kind of landed right in front of Tristan Jarry. And here comes Tread Frederick. Ooh, sneaky shot, and Lucas Dostal has to make a quick save and then a cover-up with the blocker. Kimmy Love says, any Kings fans in here? I'm sure there were some depressed Kings fans earlier. They were there. They were here. They were partying. Bobby says, okay, I hate the Bruins, but I want that sweater. Listen, we got gear from a lot of different NHL teams to give away. Joe says, Adam, when you do live streams from San Jose, will the law allow USA residents to win a prize. Listen, it's not that we can't give away prizes in the United States. It's that to ship it to the United States is so outrageously expensive, it doesn't make sense. And it's because of the tariffs. And I hate to put it that way. I'm not trying to be political, but I think you all know. Yeah. So for us to ship you the sweater, say you live in New York City, which is pretty close to Toronto, okay? Whatever you think the fleece is worth, the Fanatics fleece, take that price, multiply it by 3. That's how much it would cost us to send it to you. There used to be something called a de minimis exception or something, or exemption, de minimis exemption, where anything coming in below a certain amount of money, especially if it's manufactured in a USMCA territory, would be exempt. And obviously all the Fanatics gear is made in North America, or at least some of it is. Yeah, that's gone. So we can't help you. And I apologize. One day what we'll do is we'll just get a distribution center in the United States. And so if you're an American and you win, we'll ship it to you from the United States. But, as a corporation, we're still growing. We got some work to do. Teeny, tiny little corporation. Edmonton just iced the puck. 7:12 to go. Ducks getting those score effects in their favor. 32 shots to Edmonton's 24. It doesn't matter. You guys have watched the game with me. You see what kind of defense Edmonton's playing. This is the defense we were used to last year and the year before. This is the defense that Oiler fans talk about when they feel like us in the East are being unfair to Evan Bouchard. And I agree with him. Evan Bouchard can play great defense, man. He can. And he's playing it tonight. He's got a goal, too. So great offense as well. Bayel shot. And a good save by Tristan Jarry. I'll give Jarry credit. No sloppy goals tonight. The goals that have gone in have been really good goals. This is a guy that hasn't played since April 7th. It's April 27th, so he's not played in 3 weeks. And this guy stepped in a key playoff game. Game 4s are the most important of the series. Always, always, always. They dictate everything. And he's come in and he's been very, very good. Paling against Draisaitl. Paling's able to win that face-off, but just barely. Or excuse me, that's not Paling, that's Washi. Sorry, guys. Washi against Draisaitl. Lacombe, back pass. More. Shot. Oh, here we go. Carlson. Oh, and he tried to find Washi and tip it off him and in the net. Washi was in a great spot. Just didn't happen for him. Lacombe making great moves to Carlson. Wine shoots, and the Ducks score! The Ducks score. It's the 4th line. Last game's hero, Jeffrey Bayel, scores again, and we got a 3-all tie with 6:29 left in the 3rd period. This series keeps giving. This series is unbelievable. Jeffrey Bayel put away the Oilers on Friday night with the 6th goal. And tonight, it's the big 3rd goal and a huge tie for the Ducks. This is huge. The puck actually from Carlson initially hits Fail, and then he's able to take the shot as he's falling. Oh my God. Giggling Cat dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Let's go, baby. Are we going to overtime? Oh, we haven't had an overtime yet. Not in this series. That's because no lead is safe for very long. But now it's tied. Troy, man, the Ducks just celebrated like kids in Pee Wee scoring their first goal. Like they were just pumped. And that 4th line has been extremely effective for the Ducks all series long. Natalie Drake said, I mailed a commission art piece to the States this year. They had to pay $70 in fees for a small business artist. I'm glad the client was gracious. It's a pain in the ass. One day we'll reopen trade and it'll be great. I can't wait. Lacombe to Trouba. Giggling Cat dropping a $5 super chat just to giggle as a cat. You see what she did there? She's giggling cat, and she's got a giggling cat emoji. Hyman. Okay, here come we got a 2-on-2. Actually, a 4-on-2. Shot Carlson, big save by Tristan Jarry. And Killorn goes in and then gets surrounded by 4 Edmonton Oilers who are just roughing him up. Not like Killorn's afraid. Nugent Hopkins just tips his helmet up. That's a fun little move, eh? Just tip up the back of their helmet so they can't see anything. Don't take the helmet off. That's going to be a penalty. Just a little tip. Oh, what a series this has been. Boy, we hit the jackpot. You know, a lot of people, myself included, picked this series to be over in 5. And I picked the Oilers to win it. And I just bet on the fact that the Ducks were going to be young and inexperienced. And they still are young and inexperienced. But what can happen sometimes with young and inexperienced is you don't know really that the odds are against you. And you don't even think about it. You just go and you play. And that's what they've been doing. They've been phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh. The Ducks are still being slept on. Like, really and truly. This Oilers team is seasoned, and they are very, very strong. As much as the Pacific Division was a mess, I think this Oiler team, we all know, was never going to play to their full potential until they got to the playoffs. They didn't need to. But they've drawn a team here that really, really wants it. And I don't think the Oilers are rattled. I don't think they're worried. They've seen all this shit before. But still a tough opponent. Marquette says, Ducks fans have deserved this team after years in limbo, the franchise being stuck in limbo. Yes. I mean, we were talking on Friday night. It was the first home playoff game since 2018, the first home playoff win since 2017. That was Matthews, Marner, and Nylander's first years in the playoffs. First years in the league. Insane. That's a long, long time. And look at what the Ducks have done. And you know what I love about the Ducks too? They've taken advantage of teams on the veteran side of things that either can't afford or didn't find use for great players. Jake Trouba was not a bad hockey player, but the New York Rangers decided, well, we don't like him anymore. Michael Granlund, he's a cap casualty in Dallas. They couldn't afford him at $7 million. Chris Kreider, given away by the Rangers. And listen, Kreider had a good season. He's been relatively quiet in these playoffs, but he's older. And then you find great draft picks. Seneca. Gauthier was a guy that just requested a trade out of Philly. Shot by Carlson. Oh, my goodness. And that's blocked. Here comes Connor McDavid bearing down on Seneca. McDavid through. Oh, what a save by Dostal. Connor McDavid walked Beckett Seneca and almost outstretched Lucas Dostal, who got a toe on it. Bouchard loads up from the point. McDavid behind the net. And I think there's a hand pass. Wow. Woo! Don't forget, Connor McDavid is in this series. Do not forget. Holy. Look at him go here. He just loads up and he's gone. Seneca is like, I don't know what to do. McDavid just made him look foolish. Minchikov finally got there. Look at Dostal's save. Man, I'm telling you, Dostal's going to win Vezina one day. Yuri Pessinen, which former NHL player would you hire at SDPN to do a podcast if you could choose? Tough question to ask me with 4:39 left, but a great question. Hayden says Tyson Barrie. Yeah, Tyson Barrie apparently is a really fun guy. You know who they say is an absolute beauty is Roman Polak. I've been hearing for years that guy's hilarious. I don't know. I mean, we interviewed Michael Pizzetta earlier this year, and I think he could be a great podcaster too. Trouba from the point, and Jarry saw that all the way through traffic. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that could be great. The thing with former players on podcasts, though, that I think is a little bit played out is it's like let's get former players on the podcast. Let's have them tell old war stories. Oh, I got drunk. Oh, I slept with these people or whatever. And sometimes the stories are unique and they're amazing. The podcast that's the best at that is Chicklets. They kill that game. But Chicklets have like 8 million clones. And frankly, they're just not as good. Chicklets are just like they're a league of their own in terms of those types of interviews. So what I would want a former player to do is I would want them to do a lot of like what we do on the STP. You talk about the news, you talk about what's happening, you give your insights. Like that's the kind of thing I would want. Frederick. Ooh. Trent Frederick tried to make a break in there. That was real close. Lacombe. Back to Carlson. Taco says, who's your dream guest, Adam? I don't know. Hayden says Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton would be great. As a hockey thing, I don't know. We've been blessed, but also we don't rely on guests much. You'll notice on the SDP, we don't have guests on a lot. I think guests and podcasts are just, people abuse that. That's my personal opinion. I'd love to get Gary Roberts on to talk and with some truth serum. I would love to get Gary Roberts and his actual opinions on things. I think Darcy Tucker would be great too. I have invited him on. He just hasn't done it. Sometimes guys don't want to talk, which I get. I'm not saying he's like stiffing us. Darcy's always been a really nice guy. But yeah, man, like you want people with great personalities, right? The OG says, do you think Connor McDavid wants out this summer or next? I can't tell you about next, but definitely not this summer. He just signed there. Like, I know everybody wants him to go, and I think it would have been intriguing had he not signed. But yeah, no, he's committed. He loves Edmonton. So, like, unless this series was like a 4-game sweep and whatever, and oh no, it looks horrible for the Oilers, I think they're going to be just fine next year. All he wants to do is win. John Carlson. Puck is tipped in. Lacombe fighting with Kapanen. And that puck goes down. And Lucas Dostal able to grab it. Less than 2 minutes to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we could be going overtime. I'm going to say the OT words. We have not seen an overtime yet. McTavish, one-hand pass back to nobody. Unfortunately, it's number 29 that gets it. And that'd be 29 on the wrong team. Leon Draisaitl tried to feather a pass across, to quote the broadcast, but Jake Wallman was not able to get there on time, and we've got 90 seconds exactly left in regulation. In come the Oilers. It's Roslovic. It's Hyman. Washi takes down an Oiler. Viel gets it down. Uh-oh. Hyman's got the puck. Washi all over him. 1:08 left in the third period. Minchikov to John Carlson. And out come the Ducks. And it's Leo Carlson carrying it through center. He loses the puck. And he turns it over. This is a bad turnover. In comes Connor McDavid. Oh, and what a save. McDavid cut across. Draisaitl had the rebound. Back come the Ducks. It's Gauthier along the boards. He's already got a goal tonight. Lacombe with a shot. And that's broken up by Savoy. Shot on Jari. Big save. Action at both ends of the ice. I got goosebumps in here. We are 30 seconds from overtime. Murphy trying to get that puck out. Held up at the line. Trouba pops it in. 20 seconds to go here. 15 seconds to go. The Ducks fans hate what Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doing right now, but he's calming it down. He's being a vet. Let's go to the room, and let's go to overtime. The Oilers by doing that, have just dared the Ducks to go, okay, all right, you know what you've never done? You know what you've never done as a team, most of you? Gone to overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And they're about to do it. Baby. Guys, who's in it to stick around with me? Who's sticking around? Who's staying with me? Hayden, we got to have a clip queued up at some point for this intermission. But who's staying? I need to know. Listen, I know we got work tomorrow. I got to be up to take my kid to school. But we got overtime. So I got to ask you, who's sticking around with me? Are we going to be here? Are we sticking around? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Benjamin says 5 OTs. Let's go. What? I don't even think I'd be able to make my kid's school on time if we went to 5 OTs. Hayden said there'd be no CJ or nailing the Aplex clips tomorrow. Don't worry. We can hand those off, Hayden. You wouldn't have to do that. Wow. All right. Kids. Now, this is our next opportunity for a prediction. Who scores in overtime? And when does it happen? You got to give me an approximate time. Is it OT1? Is it OT2? Is it OT3? And what time in OT? Let's get specific, okay? Corey Mueller says, I'm hyped and very unemployed, so I'm staying for OT. Hell yeah. Just Jimmy says, I have to be up at 4 a.m. for a 12-hour shift, but I don't care. I want to support the stream. Please, no 5-hour streams. We're going to do our best, buddy. So, yes. Who do we have? Ian says Hyman in OT about 8 minutes in. 10 minutes in, it's going to be McDavid. Kasperi Kapanen in second OT, 5:53. C. Elk, second line, Edmonton, 3 minutes in. Leo Carlson, 4 minutes into the first OT. Natalie Drake, this is going to be over 2 minutes into the third overtime. Thanks, Natalie. Connor McDavid, 3 minutes into overtime. Troy Terry, 5 minutes into the first OT. Okay, the poll is what? Overtime. Ducks, Oilers, or I'm just here because I'm an insomniac. Right now, the Oilers leading that poll at 41%. Ducks leading that poll at 41%. Interesting. Oilers at 36, and people who are just here because they're insomniacs, about 20%. Okay, we got Troy Terry, 7 minutes in. We got 2 overtimes, 5 minutes in. Beckett Seneca from Meredith. All right. Nuge, OT1, 8:50. Trouba, Clapper, 15:27 of the first overtime. Listen, somebody's going to get this right. People are guessing all over the place. So if you do, you get the right to brag forever, especially getting that time specific. Yeah. Also, if you're trying to lie, we can check your chat logs, okay? So we will check you before we wreck you. Okay, I'm going to take a quick breather. We're going to run a clip. You guys all promised you were sticking around for OT, so you better do it, okay? Let's have some fun. Hayden, what are we going to play? Big dubs in OHL again. Okay. All right. There we go. Big dubs and whatever. See you at the beginning of the overtime.
Hello, friends. Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another episode of Big Dubs, where we take a look at the best from around the WHL over round 2 of the playoffs. Now, it's difficult to get into a Big Dubs video, but you know what we're very picky about? Big hits. But we thought, well, this one has to get in. Here's Corbin Vaughn of the Prince George Cougars laying out Islanders prospect Jacob Kwasnika.
What a booming hit, Vaughn on Kwasnika. But I'll give Kwasnika credit. After taking that hit, he got right back up. It was a clean hit just inside the blue line, and the Penticton 18-year-old forward got right back up.
Sheesh! Now, Penticton V's fans, relax. I can already hear you. Hey, we won. I know. The Prince George Cougars went down in 6 games to the Penticton V's, but as you can see, they did not go down without a fight. And how about this? I don't know what it is with the WHL, but Corbin Vaughn has a twin brother, Jackson Vaughn, who is with the Everett Silvertips, who are off to the Western Conference Championship Series. They might have lost the game and they might have lost the series, but this was a thunderous hit. Corbin Vaughn, Big dub. Now, believe it or not, we're going to stay with the Prince George Cougars here. This kid is unreal, and you're going to see a lot more footage of him leading up to the NHL draft in June. Here's Carson Karls.
There's Ash. Ash on the left wing, into the middle to Karls. He'll dance it. Here he comes. Carson Karls scores!
Ridiculous solo effort from Carson Karls. In 10 playoff games, somehow that was Karls' only goal, but he had 9 assists to add to that, so 10 points in 10 games. Carson Karls is a finalist for the Bill Hunter Memorial Trophy, which goes to the WHL Defenseman of the Year. You could say he's good. And this is big for the draft. Carson Karls, 3rd amongst all North American skaters leading into this draft. He's pretty good. But once again, even though Prince George bowed out in 6 to Penticton, big dub. Let's stay with the theme of big plays by defensemen, eh? Here's Masden Leslie. You think you scored, did you? Not according to Masden.
Wrenched by Miettinen. Miettinen has it on the goal line. Back to Bear. In the circles. Van Hanen. Shot on the goal line. They score! Just barely! The replay will tell all. It hit off the pads. Bonini reached back. The whole puck has to cross the goal line. And Masden Leslie is the one that sweeps that off the line.
Whoa! When they talk about a game of inches, that is centimeters, that is millimeters, that is under a microscope. Did you notice how I ran out of units of measurement? I forgot. What, nanometer? I could have said a nanometer. Now, unfortunately, Masden Leslie and the Kelowna Rockets would see their season end in Game 5 in overtime. 2, of course, the Everett Silvertips, who are great. You can't do much more than Masden Leslie did. Over a point per game during the regular season and plays like this in the playoffs. Even though it was in a losing effort, that's a big save and a big dub. Now, we're going to show something that we haven't shown yet in this video. A highlight from a team winning. We're being nice. Don't judge. Good to be nice. Stop it. Somehow, this is the second instance of a twin. We talked about the Vaughn twins. How about the Rucks? Here's Liam Ruck of the Medicine Hat Tigers taking on the Calgary Hitmen.
Off the draw, left of Casey, puck to Calgary. Meunier back pass knocked out by Liam Ruck, trying to get to it shorthanded. Shook off Pisarchuk. Now in with a shot, he scores! Liam Ruck, a shorthanded snipe for the Medicine Hat Tigers. And it's tied the game at 2 here in the second period.
Second goal of the game, his 4th of the playoffs.
Oh my gosh. Liam Ruck, I think maybe we throw out solo effort a little too easily. That was a solo effort, just powering by everybody and ripping the thing. Ripping it like Velcro. Ripping it like a late assignment. Ruck had a hat trick in Game 3 and tacked on an assist for a 4-point night. Just casual. Liam Ruck is the reigning WHL Player of the Week. Should throw that in there. And he was ranked 20th amongst North American skaters, according to NHL Central Scouting. His brother Marcus was ranked 23rd. Who's making these? The Ruck twins combined for 212 points this season. They have a combined 18 points in a combined 18 games in these playoffs. All right. Someone smart is going to draft one of them, and someone smarter is going to draft them both. Oh, but they're light. Yeah, their numbers aren't. Like, we're really going to do this again. All season long, I was laughing about the fact that Cameron Schmidt was available as late as he was, and look at the season that he's had in the WHL. We're really about to do it again with the Rucks, except it's 2 guys. I don't get it, but that goal right there, that's a big dub. And for our next highlight, it's Liam Ruck again. Jonas Wu of the Medicine Hat Tigers buries one off a crazy pass from Liam Ruck.
Right side of the Hitman blue line. Drop pass off for Marcus Ruck. He'll wait in the corner. Center for Liam. Touch to Wu. Shoots. He scores! A silky smooth feed from Liam Ruck. Jonas Wu, the one-timer, stretches the Tiger lead to 2 in Game 4. It's 3-1.
20th? 20th. 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 20th? 20th. It's like they were like, you know what? We're wrong about Liam, but let's be more wrong with Marcus. I don't know what I can say that I haven't already. Oh, why don't I talk about Jonas Wu? He's pretty good. The 19-year-old is having himself a heck of a playoff. In 8 games, he has 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. Undrafted, by the way. The Medicine Hat Tigers continue to be a wagon and somehow an underappreciated one. That setup, that finish. Big dub. So, my friends, what do you think? Only 4 teams remain. We have the Everett Silvertips taking on the Penticton Vs, and the Medicine Hat Tigers taking on the Prince Albert Raiders. Hello, friend, Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another episode of Oh Wow, where we take a look at the best from around the OHL in round 2 of the playoffs. I want to start with a big save from a goalie in this one. Here's Christian Kirsch of the Kitchener Rangers.
Woolley with a shot that was blocked. And here's another lead pass for Sharon. But this time Kirsch will get it. Gave it up though. Here's a chance in front. Oh, what a save by Kirsch. Travis Hayes was robbed as Kirsch.
That is absolutely absurd. The camera did the zoom in on the guy who scored and everything, except he didn't score. Christian Kirsch keeps that game within 1 and gave Kitchener a realistic chance at the sweep that night. Now, they didn't get it, but they would knock off the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds 1 game later in Game 5. That save, though, that's an all-time I got robbed reaction. Christian Kirsch of the Kitchener Rangers, who take on the Windsor Spitfires in round 3. Oh, wow. Hey, speaking of Windsor, check out the dangles from Anthony Cristoforo of the Spitfires.
A sweep over the attack for the Birds, a sweep over the Guelph Storm for the Spits. There's Kevin He with a head of steam. Nice poke check at center. Nesbitt got it off of his tape. Now Cristoforo to bring it in. Dancing in, goes 5-hole and he scores. Cristoforo, as Bakari was trying to poke check it. He puts it through the wickets. And Windsor's on the board first.
Dude, did you just nutmeg a defender into a pool cue goal in the first 5 minutes of a playoff game? Gosh, now Anthony Cristoforo, we shouldn't be surprised. He's having an unbelievable playoff. The 20-year-old had 61 points last season, 62 points this season. 10 points in 8 playoff games so far, 2 goals, 8 assists. Although, turns out he can score goals pretty well. Oh, worth mentioning, he's a defenseman. Anthony Cristoforo. Oh, wow. Now, coming up next, this is absurd. It is a 5-5 tied playoff game in the 3rd period. Kitchener, Sault Ste. Marie. It is a barn burner of a game, and this is a barn burner of a goal, a 4-way passing play. Yuck.
Beats out. Here comes O'Reilly over the line. O'Reilly will stop. O'Reilly, he's got it to Wood. Wood! To Ryan Edwards! Scores! Tick-tack goal! Give Dylan Edwards his 2nd of the game, and Kitchener's back in front, 6-5.
Put that sequence on a loop. What a passing play from the Rangers. O'Reilly with patience catches Woolley, the trailer, and then it's Pridham finding Edwards back door as George is hung out to dry.
I'm sorry. Producer Hayden, please play just the play-by-play call again. Listen to the announcer. He can't keep up.
Comes O'Reilly over the line. O'Reilly will stop. O'Reilly, he's got it to Wood. Wood! To Ryan Edwards! Scores!
O'Reilly! Ooh! Hey! Ah! But dude, I get it. That's exactly my reaction to the goal. That is Dylan Edwards who ends up finishing that off, if you were paying attention, to make it 6-5. Fans got their money's worth that night. And like I said before, Kitchener moves on to the conference final. This goal. Oh, wow. For our final highlight, you know what? It doesn't always have to be the biggest, most dazzling goal like that. Sometimes it's what the goal means. Brantford Bulldogs up 2-0 on the North Bay Battalion. They have a stranglehold on that series. If they win this thing in overtime, and in overtime, Ben Danford. Leaf prospect, you might have heard of him.
Finds Danford on the near side. Danford steadies a bouncing puck, sends it behind the goal.
It's a nice play by Danford.
O'Brien to the far side. Danford looks, sets, fires, he scores! Ben Danford with the overtime winner with 5:26 2:26 left in the second overtime period. And the Toronto Maple Leafs first rounder gives the Bulldogs a 3-0 series lead.
Ben Danford ices Game 3, hilariously, his first and only goal of the OHL playoffs so far. Would you believe me if I told you Ben Danford has played in 54 career OHL playoff games? 5 in his first season. Okay. 21
overtime, which means we don't have any commercial breaks. It's just you and me and some hockey. Let's do this, baby. Let's do this. This is going to be fun. So the breaks are shorter. It's getting close to 1 a.m. here in Toronto where I'm broadcasting out of. And we are going to have some fun. Oilers won the draw, by the way. Ducks have the young legs. Oilers have the experience. Killorn got the puck in on Jari. Seneca with a shot. Granlund behind the net. He's already got a goal tonight. Puck is out front. Jari missed it trying to pick up his hockey stick. But hey, he's A-okay. And it's that second line for the Oilers. I keep talking about it, but Podkolzin, Kapanen, and Draisaitl, they've been so effective all series. And the Ducks have got to be careful here. Puck to Hyman. Oh, and had it gone to Kapanen, we almost had it. Sedin Magic 15 checking in. Hey, Gripper Nation. Sorry I'm late. I had Sunday dinner with my mom, but I am here for OT. We're thrilled to have you, Sedin Magic 15. And what a game. Our first overtime of the playoffs of Gripper Nation. Let's go. I'm going to say Edmonton Oilers. If there's an Oiler that scores tonight, it's going to be Zach Hyman. If there's a Duck that scores tonight, it's going to be Leo Carlson. The OG says, Ducks got to put the retirement home to sleep. Oh, here we go. Shot by Cutter Gauthier and a good save by Tristan Jarry. Jarry's looked solid tonight. I thought it was ballsy to put him in. He looks good. He looks good. Steven says, making my graveyard shift on a random mountain gold mine in the BC Pass a little bit faster. Steven, appreciate what you do, buddy. And by the way, that gold mine of yours, that's the kind of stuff that's driving the Canadian economy. Did you know the Canadian economy has outperformed most G7 economies? It's because of people like you. It's the oil. It's the gold, baby. Keep doing what you're doing, Steven. 18:23 left in OT. And McDavid, Savoy, and Nugent-Hopkins are now out there. And the fourth line for the Ducks are out there. The fourth line, by the way, who tied the game. Vael was the guy that put that one in. Producer Hayden, along with your boy Adam Wylde, hanging out with you tonight. For some of us, it's already Monday morning. For some of us, it's still Sunday night. Sedin Magic 15 dropping 10 SDPN memberships. Let's go, baby. Welcome to the new members of VIP. And by the way, if you are a new member, that means you get access to all of our SDP VIPs going all the way back. I'm going to tell you. Oh, Hayden, you got to tell us who you got. Who are you picking for overtime, Hayden? Hayden says Nuge and who else? Granlund and Nuge. Good picks. He still loves Granlund because Granlund played in Minnesota. Paling out front. Oh, I think that puck got it in. I think that puck went in. I think this game might be over, guys. I think it's Paling off a defenseman's skate and in the net. I think it's over. I think it's over. Is it over? It sure looked like it was over. It did go through Jari's legs. The Ducks are celebrating. They're trying to sell it. On the screen, the fans are losing their minds. Is this in? It got redirected off of somebody's skate and in. I think it might be in. They haven't shown it on the broadcast yet. So the puck's just thrown towards the net, and it goes off of Nurse. Where is that puck? And I think it's in. I think it's in. Does the whole puck have to cross the line? Whole puck's got to cross the line, right? Has to be white ice on the side. I don't know that it's white ice, though. That might not be in. I didn't see white ice, though. Hold on. Does the net cam have it? So they're saying good goal on the ice. You know the Oilers are going to challenge this. Are they going to challenge it? They got to challenge this, right? Everybody knows. Everybody knows they're going to challenge. Knobloch's challenging, right? So the call on the ice is goal. So that means they have to have evidence now to overturn it. You're not trying to prove it was a goal. You're trying to prove it was not a goal. And that's going to be harder to do. Since the call on the ice is good goal, that is a huge, huge win for the Ducks in terms of presenting their case. You got to kind of look at it like there's like lawyers going at it. They are reviewing it without a challenge, by the way. So this will not penalize the Oilers in any way. But not that it matters. If they lose the challenge, the game's over. Boy, that looks like a goal, but there has to be evidence that it's not a goal. So we're finally seeing the net cam. Oh, it sure looks like that's in. They got to be able to see it to overturn it. Here's the problem. Jari's skate is over. Cantankerous Games, a flyer for the win? We'll see. Is this a goal? Are the Ducks really about to go up 3-1 on the Edmonton Oilers in this series? Off just a Darnell Nurse. Like, Minchikov had one go off him earlier, too. It just happens. After such a stingy defensive effort by the Oilers, too. Are the Ducks really about to win both games at home? Giggling Cat dropped a $20 super chat saying goal with a sticker on it. It looks like a bean that's celebrating, but we still don't know. So Louis DeBrusque is he's saying, I don't know how the official could have seen that. Well, he called it a goal, man. Denise Campbell says, calling John Cooper. Oh, man, John Cooper could litigate this. No question. This will be a controversial goal no matter what. But pretty damn hard to overturn it because you can't see it. Now, here's the thing. The NHL could solve this in a minute by doing the same thing that tennis does with their tennis balls. Just put a microchip in the paint, put a microchip in the puck, and then you'd know. And you wouldn't have to do this shit every time. But they're like, nah, what if we just didn't, though? That doesn't seem... So they're saying on the broadcast, at least on the Canadian broadcast, well, that looks like it's not over the line. That, to me, looks like it's completely over the line. That's too far. I don't know what... Listen, I know DeBrusque and Michaels are Oilers guys, and I know they're the local group, and I get that. But, like, let's be completely honest here. That looks like it's over. I don't know. That is 100% over. Yeah, they just showed it there. It's over. Call on the ice. Puck completely crosses the goal line. The Anaheim Ducks are up 3-1 on the two-time Stanley Cup finalists in a row, I might add, Edmonton Oilers. Guys, what a game tonight. Connor McDavid still arguing the case. Sadine Magic 15 says the NHL isn't a league, though, so they don't make things easier. Alex says olive oil, motor oil, baby oil, Ducks in 5. Giggling Cat dropping 10 SDPN memberships. Guys, we have got a game for ourselves waiting when the Oilers and Ducks get back to Edmonton for Tuesday night. Holy moly. This has been great. And just a fluky play. The Oilers, I'm going to be honest with you, the Oilers deserve to win tonight. Straight up. The Oilers deserve to win this game tonight. The Ducks kept coming. The Oilers deserve to win this game. They were better 5-on-5. It was the penalty kills that killed them and a fluky goal to win it, but that's hockey. The Oilers played a great 5-on-5 game tonight. They really played stingy defense. Wow. Cantankerous Game says the future is orange. Ducks, Flyers, let's effing go. Meme Empress, orange on orange violence. It's true. And listen to those fans. They're freaking out. And honestly, the only ones freaking out harder are the Ducks themselves. They're thrilled. The OG says Connor McDavid on the phone with his agent in the dressing room saying, trade me off this team now. I don't think that's the case. Rogers Arena, Hayden said, imagine being in Rogers Arena right now. They sold tickets to this. Can you imagine? There'd be some angry people leaving that arena tonight. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, listen, our first overtime didn't last that long. Did anybody get the prediction? Did anybody say, who was it, Paling off of a skate? I don't think anybody did. I don't think anybody got that. Wow. Well, listen, we got a lot of new people in tonight. If you were a newbie, thanks so much for joining us. Come back on Tuesday. I want you to come hang out with us because we got to do this again. This has been an unbelievable, outrageous, incredible series. Incredible series. Absolutely spectacular. And it sets us up for drama. One way or the other, the Ducks could make this a 5-game series and end it in Edmonton on Tuesday. Do I think that's likely, though? Gonna be honest with you. I feel like the Edmonton Oilers are going to fight like dogs at home in front of their own fans, in their own arena, waking up in their own bed with their families in the building. No way are they going to let this happen. At least not in Game 5, I don't think. This is dramatic. Wow. Mike Farino. Bowman should be fired before Game 5. He won't be, but he should be. Sedin Magic 15, Rogers Arena in Vancouver, so I can promise you no one's there. Sorry, Rogers Place. Rogers Place. That's okay. Can I be honest with you? I'm listening to the intermission panel, and I'm just going to talk to you as a Leaf fan for a second here. They are defending the Oilers and going, I don't know how the ref could see that and how he could call that a goal. If this was the Leafs, those guys would be like, that was a goal. I don't even know why they reviewed it. Ridiculous. Yeah, they'd say it would count for 2. Man. Listen, I think the Oilers deserve to win tonight. I do think that was a goal. And it's just, you feel for them. But the Oilers deserve to win, but that was a goal. And they're all saying, how can you say that puck is conclusively in? I don't know, guys. I think that was a goal. And I think the ref made the right call. Man, wouldn't be like me to be team ref, but I'm listening to these guys and I'm like, There's literally, the puck is like, I can't believe that they're saying the puck, there's no evidence the puck crossed the line. It's very clear where the puck ends. I know that Jari skates over it, but it's very clear where the puck is, and it's well over halfway that you can see it. That's a goal, guys. What are we complaining about? Girthy Bettman, McDavid is a fraud like Hellebuck. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. McDavid was great tonight. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're complaining about. Anyway, listen, I want to say to you, Mike Farino, call on the ice should have been no goal. Refs definitely didn't see it from the net, but the video was enough to determine it was a goal. You know what, Mike? I'll agree with that. Life Olpstead. Edmonton fans are going to add this to the 2017 Ryan Kessler victim complex pile, aren't they? I don't know about that. I think Oilers fans have... Hayden says, I'm muting Goal Line on Twitter tomorrow. So here's the deal, guys. We're going to be back Tuesday night. Tuesday night's one of the biggest games we will see this season because are the Edmonton Oilers really going to go out in the first round? It'd be hard to believe, but the Ducks have them on the ropes. So I'm assuming we're going to see you here, right? You're going to come back, right? You're going to join us? We're going to give stuff away? We're going to have a fun time? We're going to hang out, right? All right. Love you all. We are leaving, but we will see you on Tuesday. Controversy in Edmonton tonight. Controversy. We love it. Have a great sleep. Denise Campbell says, next game, oh boy. And we love you. Ducks fans, Oilers fans, people who are just here watching, thank you so much for joining us. What a great series this has been. I don't want it to end. And honestly, on Tuesday night, I don't think it will. But we'll see you there.